Hi guys, can you hear us? Welcome to Rover Mechanic Simulator update, the big translation update which many people were waiting for. Sorry it took us about a month, but turns out there was a lot of things associated with adding those languages. We've also added more stuff than just that. For example, some of you guys asked for the support for widescreen monitors like 21:9, so there is also this functionality as well. And many more. There is a lot of bugs that were fixed. You can read the news on the Steam page currently, so maybe we'll just go quickly through the update. So the lift now always stays in the middle of the hangar. This is something that many people wrote about on our forums, that it was annoying for them to have to place the lift in the middle every time. So now you only do this once, and as we explained, this is a future planned functionality, which in the future, when we have Curiosity Rover, you will have multiple lifts to choose from. That's why you have to place it. But now it will be easier for you. Of course, as I said, languages, widescreen monitors. There is also now there is more orders you can make. For example, you can repeat the orders previously made, which is helpful when you, for example, make a mistake, and if you try to finish an order without completing it too many times, then you would have some problems with low XP. But now everything should be fine. Okay, I have a report that maybe the sound from the game is too loud, slightly, so I will try to make it a little bit less. Maybe it's better now, the sound from the game. Okay, and also we fixed many bugs which were found thanks to our amazing community on Discord, so thanks you guys. You were amazing with tracking all those tiny little issues. And yeah, so after this very short introduction, it's time to basically tell you who we are. So we are not the developers of Rover Mechanic. We are actually developers of Occupy Mars, the game, which is coming out this year. I hope quite soon, actually. So I'm Jacek. Here is Pablo, and last time different people were covering the stream, because right now we wanted to show the different language versions. So I will be playing Polish version, and Pablo will be playing Russian version of the game, because he's very good with Russian language and other languages as well. So he'll be able to show you those new features. Okay, so maybe we should start in this case with Pablo playing. So I will move the keyboard to him, and after he creates his new profile, we will switch the language to Russian, because currently it is set to Polish. Oh yeah, one more thing I want to mention, that Pablo never played Rover Mechanic before, so the tutorial will be something completely new for him. I will just switch language version to Russian, and as you can see, the game is switching languages like on the flight, so we don't have to restart the game every time we want to see how those languages look. Like we can switch to Chinese, for example. We will do this maybe later and show you different versions. Okay, so I am passing the headphones to Pablo and let him play.
Итак, друзья, всем привет. Приветствую вас на сей раз уже на русском языке. Собственно, как уже сказал я, это первый раз, когда я играю в игру Rover Mechanic Simulator. Если у вас будут какие-то вопросы, пожелания, пожалуйста, можете писать в чат. Все прочтем, на все ответим. Итак, думаю, можем начинать. Обучающие миссии. Поскольку вы начинающий инженер, вам придется выполнить специальные миссии, чтобы изучить основы. Выполните эти миссии шаг за шагом, и вы узнаете больше о работе механика планетоходов. Некоторые действия могут содержать несколько сообщений. Нажмите D для перехода к следующему сообщению. Если вы не знаете, что делать дальше, просто ищите такие отметки. Они показывают ваши текущие цели и помогают отслеживать выполнение ваших задач. Вы всегда можете нажать 4, чтобы переключить панель целей в верхнем правом углу экрана. Используйте ее, чтобы проверить подробности вашего текущего задания. Хорошо. Курсор мыши меняется в зависимости от того, находится над интерактивным объектом или нет. Зачеркнутый круг подразумевает, что вы не можете взаимодействовать с объектом. Возможно, вы еще не разблокировали этот объект или не выполнили всех требований, необходимых перед началом взаимодействия. Слегка прозрачная точка подразумевает, что в пределах вашей досягаемости нет объектов, с которыми вы могли бы взаимодействовать. Полностью видимая точка подразумевает, что вы можете взаимодействовать с объектом, на который вы смотрите. Идем дальше. Боковые панели. Вышеупомянутые боковые панели помогают вам отслеживать цели текущей задачи, ключевые привязки и действия журнала. Чтобы показать скрыть боковые панели, нажмите 4, 5 или 6. Хорошо. Что ж. Так вот выглядит наш ангар. Начнем, что тут у нас есть. Планшет. Ящик с инструментами и шуруповерт. Ну, видимо. Так, ваше рабочее место. Прекрасно. Теперь, когда у вас есть инструменты, вы почти готовы к началу работы. Теперь пройдитесь по ангару, и мы объясним вам, что делать каждое конкретное устройство. Когда вы закончите, вы сможете принять свой первый заказ. На данный момент почти все устройства недоступны, но мы хотим, чтобы вы узнали о них больше. Хорошо. Так. Радио. Цифровое радио. Конечно, можно обойтись и без него, но все же ни один настоящий профессионал не может представить себе работу без музыки. Конечно. Нажмите левую кнопку мыши, чтобы взаимодействовать с радиоприемником. Затем выберите станцию, музыка которой подходит вам больше всего. Это простой способ сделать ремонт планетоходов намного более приятным. Как это делается? Ага, вот. Ну, допустим. Хорошо. Что тут у нас? Стол для исследования печатных плат. Используйте стол исследования печатных плат, чтобы узнать, какие компоненты печатных плат повреждены. Помните, что вы всегда можете напечатать конкретные компоненты печатной платы на 3D принтере. Если вы не хотите тратить на это время, то можете распечатать сразу всю плату. Но это, конечно, будет более дорогое решение. Так, недоступен пока. Хорошо. Конфигуратор. Вы можете использовать это устройство для настройки бортовых компьютеров планетохода. Каждый раз, когда вы завершаете ремонт, вам нужно подключать это устройство к планетоходу через беспроводной коннектор и перезагружать систему планетохода. Окей. Так, что у нас дальше? ЦБУ, центральный блок управления вашего ангара. Используйте его для управления козлом-краном или играйте на нем в ретро-видеоигры. Да, будем играть в игре. Неплохо, скажите, ребят. Операционная система, установленная в ЦБУ, это марсианский дистрибутив Linux. Обратите внимание, суда не работает на Марсе. Да, шуточка для программистов. 3D принтер. Используйте 3D принтер, чтобы получить новые компоненты и детали, необходимые для технического обслуживания планетохода. Чем больше деталей, чем она сложнее, тем больше времени уходит на ее печать. Попробуйте выполнить ваши заказы, заменив маленькие компоненты, так как это обеспечит экономный расход ресурсов. Помните, что для печати нужны ресурсы. Выполняйте задачи, чтобы получить больше ресурсов. Что ж, идем дальше. Дробилка. С помощью дробилки можно переработать некачественные детали и восстановить немного ресурсов. Чем больше повреждена деталь, тем меньше ресурсов можно получить из нее. Так, и стол еще какой-то. Верстак. Используйте верстак, чтобы узнать, какие компоненты в наборе повреждены и требуют замены. На верстаке вы также можете очистить грязные детали. Помните, что вы не можете анализировать, ремонтировать грязные части. Помните, что вам не всегда нужно печатать определенные компоненты набора. Если вы не хотите тратить на это время, то вы можете распечатать весь набор. Но это, конечно, более дорогое решение. Хорошо. Что у нас еще? Все. Итак, давайте откроем планшет и глянем, что у нас тут есть. Добро пожаловать к просмотру заказов. Здесь вы можете найти все заказы, которые получала наша колония. Заказы поступают от различных компаний. Это значит, что ваши вознаграждения и цели могут отличаться в зависимости от компании, которой вы решили предоставить свою услугу. Как обычно в мире инженерии, некоторые заказы бывают сложными, а могут быть еще сложнее. Все заказы сортируются по минимальному требуемому рангу, благодаря этому вы никогда не примете заказ, который не сможете выполнить. Логично. Идем дальше. Выбор заказа. Для того, чтобы вы выбрали задание, вся важная информация, которая вам нужна, будет отображаться в правой части экрана. Каждый заказ имеет небольшую заметку, которая сообщает, в чем может быть проблема, но имейте в виду, что это лишь слабое понимание заказчика. Кроме того, представлена информация, сколько ресурсов вы можете получить после выполнения заказа. Наши инженеры всегда делают предварительный анализ заказа, поэтому иногда они могут оставлять подсказку того, что нужно заменить. Так, неплохо. Хорошо. Вот у нас уже есть первый заказ. Так, я так понимаю, это изображение марсохода, который будем ремонтировать. Название Sojourner, заказ C242, цена низкая. Ну, а как же? Начинаем игру и понемногу будем учиться. Так, примечание клиента. Это будет просто. Вроде все нормально, кроме одного колеса. Будь добр, выясни причину проблемы. Хорошо, минимум прочность деталей 50, требуемый ранг, ресурсы и опыт. Так, прикладываем наш палец. Что тут у нас? Просмотр квеста. Эта вкладка является центральным пунктом игры. Здесь вы можете найти всю информацию о своей задаче. Окно вознаграждений содержит информацию о ресурсах и опыте, которые вы можете получить после выполнения задания. Суммарный отчет содержит информацию о том, сколько денег вы потратили. За исключением вступительных миссий вы можете заканчивать заказ, не завершая ремонт. Единственное правило, в них не может быть недостающих деталей. Однако мы не рекомендуем этот способ, потому что он может привести к возникновению негативных последствий. Идем дальше. Так, вкладки. Поговорим о вкладках справа. На вкладке «Недостающие части» вы можете увидеть все детали, которые вы отсоединили от планетохода. Помните, что вы не можете завершить задание, пока не прикрепите все недостающие детали назад. Хорошо, задачи. Здесь вы можете найти всю информацию о ваших текущих задачах. Предварительный анализ – та самая вкладка, которую вы уже видели в просмотре выбора квеста. Хорошо. Так, что тут у нас? Это, я так понимаю, общая информация об игре. Принтер пока у нас еще недоступен. Склад. Что ж, склад и анализ. Добро пожаловать в склад. Это ваш инвентарь. Нажмите на части, о которых вы хотите увидеть больше информации. Если вы хотите отменить выбор, просто нажмите еще раз. Каждая деталь имеет название, стоимость, тип и тому подобное. Если вы случайно отсоединили неанализированную деталь, вы все равно можете проанализировать ее на складе, просто выбрав деталь и нажав F на клавиатуре. Окей. Так, улучшение. Специальности. Здесь вы можете усовершенствовать свои навыки механика. Мы подготовили для вас 3 дерева навыков. Если вам нравится все делать самому, и самое важное для вас это как можно скорее отсоединять детали от планетоходов, то вам следует сосредоточиться на дереве техник. Если вам не нравится пачкать руки, то вы очень хорошо подсчитываете деньги, и, возможно, дерево экономист для вас, что возможно. И последнее дерево аналитик. Благодаря навыкам аналитика вы сможете быстро найти поврежденные части. Хорошо. Очки навыков. Каждый талант стоит 1 очко умения. Чтобы получить их, вы должны делать одно и играть. Понятно. Каждый раз, когда вы достигаете следующего ранга, вы получаете 1 очко умения. Некоторые таланты имеют более чем 1 уровень. Для достижения наилучших результатов вам следует сосредоточиться на одном дереве. Конечно, ничто не мешает вам инвестировать в таланты с разных деревьев. Решение за вами. Хорошо. Расходы, сброс. Удерживайте левую клавишу мыши на умении, чтобы изучить его. Если вы хотите сбросить изученное умение, держите левую кнопку мыши на отпечатке пальца в правом нижнем углу. Но помните, что цена сброса не является постоянной, она растет каждый раз, когда вы сбрасываете свои таланты. Хорошо. Так, продолжаем. Готовимся к работе. Каждый планетоход транспортируется в специальном металлическом контейнере, чтобы предотвратить повреждения во время транспортировки. Ваша первая задача каждый раз перемещать тяжелый контейнер с планетоходом на подъемник. Контейнеры распаковываются автоматически. Так, хорошо, подойдем к нашему блоку управления. Конечно же, отсканируем палец. Так, у нас тут есть терминал, кран и змейка. Начнем, пожалуй, с крана. Так, ага, вот так мы им управляем. Так, понимаю, Shift-V, чтобы поднять захват. Так, сначала нажимаем F, нет. Shift-V, чтобы опустить захват. Хорошо. Так. Shift-S опускаем. Так, дальше мы поднимаем и тащим его на стол. Так, хорошо. Опускаем. Есть контакт. Что ж, пойдем чинить. Так. Ремонт планетохода. Когда нажимаете на транспортное средство в подъемнике, вы переходите в режим ремонта. Во время ремонта вы будете использовать 3 различных режима. Режим сборки, режим разборки и режим проверки. Хорошо, вы можете переключаться между ними, нажимая 1, 2 и 3. Обратите внимание, что для этого вам не нужно быть в режиме ремонта. Если вы хотите выйти из режима ремонта, просто нажмите кнопку Escape. Да, кстати, для тех, кто только подключился к трансляции, я напоминаю, что вы можете задавать вопросы, вот чуть позже мы на них ответим. Режим разборки. В режиме разборки вы можете снимать детали с планетоходов. Снятые детали поступают прямо на склад. Доступ к нему осуществляется через вкладку «Склад» в планшете. Хорошо, идем дальше. В режиме сборки вы можете присоединять детали, которые есть на складе. Недостающие детали выглядят слегка прозрачными. Хорошо, значит, ремонт, разборка, сборка. Проверка. В режиме проверки можно исследовать состояние деталей и решать, какие детали следует заменить. После диагностики цвет детали изменяется, соответственно ее уровню износа. Белый – деталь на проверке, оранжевый – деталь загрязнена, зеленый – деталь в отличном состоянии. Дальше желтый – приемлемое состояние детали, красный – деталь нужно немедленно заменить. Когда деталь загрязнена, вы не можете ее анализировать. Вам придется сначала ее оценить и очистить. Хорошо, идем дальше. Индикатор режима. Вы всегда можете убедиться, что находитесь в правильном режиме, просто посмотрев на пиктограмму сверху. С помощью этих знаний вы можете легко найти поврежденное колесо. Так, хорошо. Так. Что ж. Нажимаем сейчас, как этим управлять. Нажимаем. Так, пожалуй, вернемся еще раз в инструкции. Секундочку. Так, пожалуй, нет, не сюда. И еще раз, как мы читали. Не можем выбрать, хорошо. Шаг назад. Выбрать. Не можем, хорошо. Возможно, с этой стороны. Нет, нет и нет. Так, секундочку. Если переключим режим сюда, то анализируем колесо. Говорит, что насколько я помню, желтое колесо немного загрязнено. Hello, привет, ребят. В данный момент трансляция проходит на русском языке. На английском вы сможете посмотреть немножко позже. Анализируем второе. Так, вот, кажется, мы нашли неисправность. Поэтому... Так, нажимаем разборка. Разборка, анализ. Хорошо, сейчас. Так. Хорошо.
Maybe the music may be too loud slightly, so we can make it here in the options. Music sound, and the music is slightly too loud. Slightly. Okay.
Thank you.
How is it going with disassembling?
Truly a little bit hard for me.
Okay, so you have those keys 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
One is disassembly, second is assembly, third is analysis. And now you need to disassemble, so press 1.
Okay. 1.
Yeah, and you need to use the, as you can see here, right mouse button and hold it over the part. And now you can use this to disassemble. And you have the subtitles here. Show you what to do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so good luck, and if anything, just write me on or
Thank you.
let me know. Okay.
Так, далее. Удаляем само колесо. Хорошо. Колесо сняли. Так, печать. Теперь, когда у вас поврежденная часть, вы должны напечатать новую. Мы только что разобрали 3D принтер для вас, разблокировали 3D принтер для вас. После печати просто прикрепите новое колесо вместе с недостающими деталями, которые вы сняли. Не забудьте взять новое колесо с поддона принтера. Хорошо. Так, выходим. И я так, насколько я помню, принтер у нас здесь. Необходимо выбрать категорию колесо. Окей. Выбрали, колесо немножко печатается. Ну что ж, подождем. Не все сразу. Okay, thank you, Brett M73. I'll inform about it. Окей, наша деталь готова. Дальше идем к нашему марсоходу. И, насколько я понимаю, сейчас мы будем заменять колесо. Значит, нам нужен режим сборки. Так, секундочку, подождите. Так. Хорошо. Установили колесо. Теперь, я так понимаю, примонтировать новое колесо и вкручиваем шурупчики. Так, есть контакт. Дальше, насколько я помню, еще вот тут вот надо. Ага, крышка у нас тоже неисправна, да? Нет, с крышкой все хорошо. Прикручиваем шуруп. Так, есть. Выходим. Так, рэк-коннектор. Ваша последняя задача — перезагрузить бортовой компьютер планетохода. Используйте конфигуратор ECU, который вы видели во время исследования ангара, чтобы применить возможность перезагрузки драйвера. Перезагрузите драйвер, выйдите из режима сборки и подключите беспроводный коннектор к планетоходу. Важно, коннектор может быть подключен только если планетоход полностью укомплектован. Вы не можете разбирать планетоход после подключения коннектора, поэтому всегда перезагружайте ECU в конце работы. Если во время перезагрузки вы отсоединяете коннектор, то ваша... Так, я понял, дальше текст нам не виден. Обязательно это исправим. Подключение коннектора. Чтобы подключить коннектор к планетоходу, необходимо выйти из режима ремонта и нажать 2, чтобы перейти в режим сборки. Если все хорошо, вы сможете подключить беспроводный коннектор к планетоходу. Чтобы удалить коннектор, нажмите 1 и удерживайте ПКМ, как в режиме разборки. Так, сейчас еще раз проверим, работает ли тут. Выйти из режима ремонта. Так. Хорошо. Так, присоединяем. Хорошо, теперь, насколько я помню, подключен. Теперь, насколько я помню, мы должны пойти сюда. Ага, мини-игра. Конфигурация драйверов. На этом экране вы можете сбросить систему планетохода к настройкам по умолчанию. Ваша задача проложить путь от аккумулятора к выходу. Когда вы нажмете на пустую плитку, панели инвентаря слева покажут все доступные фрагменты для этого места. Затем просто нажмите на фрагмент в панели инвентаря, и он будет размещен автоматически. Красные и зеленые зоны должны быть заполнены специальными плитками, которые либо прибавляют, либо отнимают напряжение. Для безопасного сброса системы вам нужно достичь целевого напряжения, как показано в верхнем правом углу. Хорошо. Так, поехали. Насколько я понимаю, тут мы начинаем. Дальше нам нужно проложить путь, ну вот такой вот спиралькой. Так, что у нас тут есть? Прямая трубка. Тут тоже прямая трубка. Так, мы ее должны повернуть. Тут еще одна прямая, и тут угловые. Угловая. И, ага, ошибся я тут. Как ее убрать? Колесиком. Устанавливаем прямую и угловую здесь. Теперь, я так понимаю, нужно так, разделить напряжение. Зеленые прибавляют, красные убавляют. У нас 3 зеленых, 4 красных. Что мы можем поставить на зеленую? Плюс 5, плюс 4, плюс 2. Всего у нас 3 зеленых. Хорошо, а на красную 4 минус 1 и 1 минус 2. Хорошо, ну допустим поставим тут плюс 5. Текущее напряжение будет 5. Тут поставим, к примеру, 4. И тут 4. Всего у нас сейчас 13. Теперь нам нужно отнять, чтобы получилось 8. 5. Хорошо, значит отнимаем тут 2. Тут 1. И тут, кстати, я забыл повернуть. Тут 1. И тут 1. Прекрасно. Конфигурация завершена. Нажмите Escape для продолжения. Так, завершение заказа. Поздравляем, вы только что закончили свой первый заказ. Теперь единственное, что вам нужно сделать, это перейти к своему планшету и нажать кнопку «Завершить заказ». Тогда работа будет выполнена. Мы рекомендуем завершить заказ, не отремонтировал планетоходы, а для вашего же блага это возможность заблокирована в учебных заданиях. Спасибо, что заботитесь обо мне. Так, так, завершить заказ. Принять. Отчет квеста. Здесь вы можете увидеть краткий отчет завершенного квеста. В поле задач можно увидеть, сколько очков опыта вы набрали за каждую часть задания. Это бонусный опыт. Если вы выполняете каждый шаг правильно, то получите дополнительные баллы и ресурсы, которые вы видели в описании заказа раньше. В окне повреждения части можно увидеть перечень поврежденных деталей. вам придется отремонтировать их, чтобы получить все награды. Если вы сделаете что-то не так, в окне отобразится то, что вы пропустили. Окей. Так, прикладываем палец. И... Ага, вот у нас появилось новое задание. Спасибо за то, что заменил колесо в прошлый раз, но кажется, у Содженера больше проблем, чем мы предполагали ранее. Подшипник, должно быть, был поврежден еще до того, как ты устранил проблему с колесом, вследствие чего оно износилось гораздо быстрее. Так как у тебя уже есть опыт работы с Содженером, не мог бы ты взглянуть на него еще раз. В этот раз ты получишь дополнительную оплату. Что ж, давайте взглянем. Перезапуск заказов. Пришло время для теста. Во время этого заказа вы должны использовать все, что вы только что узнали, и самостоятельно отремонтировать планетоход. Не волнуйтесь, если что-то пойдет не так, вы всегда сможете перезапустить выполнение задания. Все, что вам нужно сделать, это нажать кнопку «Перезапустить заказ». Хорошо, вот я ее уже вижу. Эта операция сбрасывает вашу игру до состояния от начала заказа. Иногда может возникнуть необходимость начать с чистого листа. Будьте внимательны, тем не менее, эту операцию нельзя отменить. Хорошо. Так, поехали. Переработка. Если у вас есть детали, которые вам больше не нужны, вы можете переработать их в дробилке. Мы только что разблокировали ее для вас. Когда вы перерабатываете детали с помощью дробилки, вы получаете некоторые ресурсы назад. Чем меньше деталь повреждена, тем больше ресурсов вы получите. Хорошо. Так, едем дальше. Итого, сначала... Да, я помню, что нам нужно забрать марсоход. Так. Вот он наш марсоход. Опускаемся. Берем его. Назад поднимаемся и едем к столу. Опускаем. Так, есть контакт. Все, выходим, можем идти чинить. Так, нет. Так, кстати, дробилка. У нас вроде было колесо лишнее, да? Утилизируем его. Хорошо, мы получили запасные запчасти. Итак, ну что ж. Снова начинаем. Так. Разборка. Нет, нам для начала нужен анализ. Насколько я помню, в прошлый раз было это колесо. Давайте проанализируем его еще раз. Так, вот, я так понимаю, подшипник. Он загрязнен. Поэтому... Так, давайте посмотрим другие подшипники. Да, остальные зеленые, поэтому давайте снова разберем это колесо. Так, разборка. Выкручиваем. И снимаем подшипник. Хорошо. Так, давайте еще раз проверим, что нам нужно в задании. Ага. Так, что ж. Пойдем, наверное, напечатаем новый. Части. Подшипник. Солнечная батарея, плечо, крышка подшипника. Ага, нам нужно заменить еще и сам подшипник. Все, я понял. Так, глянем еще раз. Разборка. Снимаем колесо. Да, в часике вот только что прилетел код, насколько я понимаю, на игру. Берите, пользуйтесь, пожалуйста. Так, разбираем далее. И вот он наш... Ага, сначала тут надо снять. Так, тут тоже развинчиваем. Хорошо. И... Так, еще один шажок. И вот он наш подшипник. Нет, еще не подшипник, вот теперь. Погодите, нет, это двигатель. Хорошо. Давайте глянем свой инвентарь. Склад. Крышка подшипника, вот подшипник. Так. Я так понимаю, нам нужно сделать новую крышку. Возможно. Хорошо. Попробуем. Крышка подшипника. Так, поехали забирать. Так, вот она. Окей, так, сейчас бы попасть. Выбираем 5. Сборка. И я так понимаю, понемножку будем собирать назад. Монтируем двигатель. Так, монтируем крышку. Монтируем который стабилизирует движение. Так, а давайте-ка проверим еще раз все-таки задание. Мне кажется, надо было подшипник сделать. Подшипник должен быть был поврежден еще до того, как ты устранил проблему с... Yeah?
I have a report that maybe slightly too loud still with the sounds. How is it going?
Nice, I think.
If you open the tablet, there you can analyze the parts. If you go to your demounted parts here, you can press F, and if you click on every part, then you can see that this one is broken and that one probably as well. Yeah, so you need to replace those two. You did replace them, right?
Yeah. No,
for new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so we're gonna print them.
Yeah. You have to search by name.
Do you have Russian here?
I would have to have Russian keyboard, right?
Nope. Oh, okay.
So we would have to switch to Russian keyboard, but you can find using the miniatures.
So
I think they are at the bottom because this is you can click this here. You can find them at the bottom because those are for the Sojourner Rover, for the opportunity, and here for the Sojourner. So here, if you go up, you should find the exact part somewhere, maybe up still. It's probably this one and this one.
Yeah, we'll check in inventory.
Here in the demounted parts.
Yeah, that's it.
And they probably are. One of them is already printed.
Yeah, thanks.
And the second one is still printing. If something's printing, you can play one of the mini games on the controller. You can also install some more games. You have Snake, but you can install more if you want.
Окей, так, давайте попробуем. Так, хорошо. Давайте, пожалуйста, побьем рекорд и...
And probably the part is ready already because you see the on the screen.
Yeah, I just wanna beat the high score. Окей, все, мы можем выходить. Так, часть наша уже готова. И, в принципе, можем ее уже устанавливать. Новенький подшипник. Новую крышку. Вентиль. колесо и шурупики. So how much time do I have?
How much you want?
Okay.
And you are close to finishing this rover. You need to also put
Yeah.
this cap on. And later you will have to fix the driver. Yes. So now you can go to options and make the sound slightly less. The general, the main one, I think. Should be better. And now you have this configurator, which you need to attach it with the right mouse button.
Yeah.
And now you will have to go to
Yeah.
this device and play this minigame.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't see Russian viewers in our chat.
Maybe they are watching, but they are not writing anything.
Yeah. Да, ребят, если вы здесь, пожалуйста, отпишите, чтобы мы знали, что смотрите трансляцию. Окей. Так, starting from here.
Maybe they are busy playing with the new update.
Да, возможно, ребят, вы играете уже в новое обновление, поэтому у вас нет времени посмотреть стрим. Is the new message?
Oh, so now the volume is too low.
Turn up, okay.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
I will ask him if it's better now.
Нет. Второй раз шумнее. Так вот. Every time forgetting to click new icon.
Almost there.
Yeah. So. Так, итак, нам нужно напряжение 5. Давайте посмотрим, что у нас тут есть. У нас есть 2 плюс 2, 2 по плюс 3, 2 по минус 2, 1 плюс 1. Получается, если тут поставить плюс 3, тут плюс 3, тут минус 1. Ценовое напряжение. Ага. Мы повернули. Все, хорошо. Так, и я думаю, мы можем уже заканчивать наше задание.
Check if you have fixed everything here in the tabs, right? Because it's important for the players to check this, because some players forget, and then if they missed some part which is still broken, then their task will have less XP points than they should receive.
Okay.
So it's something I wanted to. Okay, so maybe make it louder again, and maybe music slightly louder, because not that much, but previously it was loud. Later it was too quiet.
Yeah, right now please how it is.
Okay. So
okay,
now
and
you can finish the task. Okay, great. And now you will have the spirit rover, the bigger one. And what's the task here?
Время для игрушки побольше. I'm just reading
the okay, of course.
Так как ты уже знаком с кинематической системой Rocket Bogey, то ты подходящий человек для решения этой проблемы. Так, в этот раз мы даем тебе спирита. Этот марсоход сложнее, чем Соджонер. Так как подвеска одинаковая в общем и целом, то это не составит тебе труда. Этот марсоход ранее был проверен, и кажется, что нужно починить задний двигатель. Однако я не помню, какой из них. Хорошо, поехали брать наш марсоход. Логимся. И в который раз. Тут уже, видите, ящик побольше. Принимаем. Так, есть контакт. Хорошо. Так, давайте еще раз прочитаем задание. Рокербой, не даете. В этот раз мы даем тебе спирита. Хорошо, задний двигатель. Okay, I'm not so very good in mechanics, so
Okay.
which engine?
So
We're gonna
rear
fix.
wheels, right? So those two are the rear wheels,
Yeah,
and the engine should be in one
Yeah,
of those wheels.
just inside
So
of
you
it.
have to analyze.
yeah, just first analyzing.
Yeah, use the option number 3.
First
Analyze
five.
the 3. Right. Now you can analyze the wheel, and also if you turn it around, inside the wheel. This one is okay, right? This one is like 70%. It should be okay, but
Yeah,
check that
let's
one.
try this one.
this one is
Yeah.
maybe broken.
Seems not so good.
This one also, and try this internal part. It's green, but
It's good.
maybe it's
Maybe
somewhere
inside of
here.
it.
Yeah, maybe inside. Try to
Okay, let's try.
demount this one.
Сборка. Okay, good. Okay, next.
Okay, and I try to analyze this bearing. This one is good, but maybe it's still inside.
Inside, yeah.
Need to go deeper to find the issue. Let's see this engine here. This
Yeah,
one is
that's
broken. Right.
So
we should take it out. And now.
Так, наборы, часть, которую вы уже сняли, очень сложна. Печать это не очень хорошая идея, так как она стоит очень дорого и занимает много времени. Этот тип деталей на плейнтоходе мы называем наборы. Вы можете использовать верстак, чтобы полностью разобрать набор. Благодаря этому вы можете проверить, что нужно заменить, не печатая его полностью. Еще одно, помните, что вы не можете прикрепить неполный набор к плейнтоходам. Окей. Дальше верстак, ну да, я уже помню, что это такое. Для работы с наборами мы используем специальный верстак, он стоит рядом с дробилкой. С помощью этого верстака вы сможете определить, какие части набора повреждены, и заменить. Хорошо. Так, тут мы пока закончили, идем на верстак. Okay, it's something in German.
Oh, nice, we have some German viewers.
Yeah.
Great. I hope you like our translations.
Итак, прочность набора. Прежде всего вы должны выбрать режим ремонта и часть, которую вы хотите отремонтировать. Каждая деталь имеет индикатор, представляющий ее уровень прочности. Набор не похож на типичную часть, и его прочность исчисляется по-разному. Уровень прочности набора равен прочности наихудшей детали в наборе. Что-то типа цель настолько прочная, насколько прочная ее самое слабое звено. Да, как-то так. Камера. Камера перемещается иначе, когда вы работаете на верстаке. Вы можете переместить камеру, нажав кнопки VSD. Если вы хотите вместо этого повернуть деталь, используйте комбинацию Shift плюс VSD. Так. В остальном все так, как в режиме ремонта. Хорошо. Так, идем дальше. Ремонт. Будем ремонтировать двигатель. Так. Убираем сам двигатель. Here we also have here we also are able to analyze, yeah?
Yes, yes. So you always can analyze or take the parts apart or put them back together.
Okay,
so
yeah, we found the problem.
So yeah, the problem is with the inside of an electric motor.
Yeah,
There is
these two small pieces.
there is a rotor, stator, and those brushes.
Yeah.
So the brushes are broken here. So in this case, I would just make sure if this is okay. You can finish it.
Yeah, but the
But
fixator is also
Maybe
right,
it's
yeah.
maybe it's not broken. You can analyze this part as well. Try to analyze this remaining part because it's not analyzed. This one
yeah.
is okay.
It's just a color of red. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So let's put it back.
Yeah. So this one should be okay. But the brushes were not good. So now you have to print new ones.
Unfortunately, we don't understand you.
Yeah, we have a German viewer, but we are not very good at German language. Maybe I will try to understand, but if any of you guys can respond, then please do it on the YouTube stream.
It's supposed to be in a set.
No, it's a small part, so
Okay.
it's a brush, right? There should be somewhere here at the bottom with the spirit. Oh, here
Yeah,
we have
here
these
is it.
parts.
And we should
Is
take two of
Is
them.
it this one? I'm not sure it's the one. Maybe from different motor. You can scroll up and try again, or search in, or check in your tablet the exact name and then put it in the search bar.
Yeah,
I think it's this one, RR25.
Okay.
Probably.
So two pieces.
So let them print and meanwhile check in your tablet if this is the same. So
Yeah, that's
that's the one. Okay. So they are printing. Maybe you can install some new game here
probably.
in the terminal.
Let's try. Terminal.
Yeah. So as you saw in the loading screen, sudo doesn't work on Mars, so we use mudo. And if you use the Linux, you should know the apt-get command.
Probably.
So try it.
Apt.
It's apt. Dash get. The middle one.
Okay. Get.
Install.
Install.
And we have some games, maybe Pong.
Pong.
It's a very classic game.
Yeah, let's try.
Surprise! It's working.
Yeah.
So Mars has Pong.
Good. Going back.
And now we have the
Let's
icon.
try it. Okay, good game from this intelligence. Let's take
It's
our
hard.
parts. Yeah.
Meanwhile, we have our parts printed,
Yeah.
and we can finish the broken motor. Okay. So now we can go to the assembly mode and put the new
Put
one.
it back. I saw a code in the chat. Was it a code for Rover Mechanic Simulator you've
Yes,
foreseen?
it was a surprise giveaway for Rover Mechanic. I'm sure that they are already used,
Yeah.
but this is a present for our fans who are watching the stream. And if you watch closely, maybe there will be another giveaway soon. So stay with us and play the game. So now we can put it back
Put it back, yeah.
because it is fixed.
Okay, the engine is.
It's maybe not 100%. Probably there was some other part which was
Yeah, but I think our man.
not perfect, but it should be okay. It's not red.
Mm-hmm.
got screws, but those wheels need to
Yeah, they fixed
need to be fixed really good because Mars is a rough terrain. They cannot fall off. Okay, and
Okay, so we finished here.
I think we
Let's
are.
observe.
It's always better to check
Yeah.
here. Yes, we are. So we
Okay,
only
we
need
need to reboot.
yes, reboot the system.
Okay, where is
This
it?
rover
Here.
has its here this
Back.
slot.
Okay, and the gameplay in this minigame. So how to go?
So the rovers are very fragile, and every time you take something apart and fix, they are like, what happened? We need to reconfigure our drivers to let me know that the rover is in good condition again.
Yeah. Okay, we need 4. Nope. Okay, we need some more corner. No, not here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, just exactly. What do we need? Nope. Every time forgetting to click. One more for here. And here. So we need 4. Let's put here 2. 1. 1. 1. Now we get 5. And here -1. So we may check in the tablet how it is. Yeah, tablet is ready.
Okay.
Finishing the task.
Great, and now you have ranked up.
Yeah. Итак, на ранг выше. Поздравляем, вы достаточно опытны для повышения. Каждый раз, когда вас повышают, вы получаете очки умений. Вы можете потратить очки своих умений во вкладке улучшений. Так, посмотрим улучшения. Так, насколько я помню, не люблю копаться в машинках, поэтому, пожалуй, изучим что-то такое. Сокращает время, необходимое для снятия деталей, на 30% от базового времени. Супер. Потому что в прошлый раз было достаточно долго снимать все эти шурупики. Что ж, у нас есть новое задание.
Continue.
Yeah, continue. Окей. Недавно мы получили искаженные снимки от марсоплода Opportunity. Боимся, что с панорамными камерами наможете какие-то проблемы. Okay. Maybe let it be the last task. We will test our upgrade here, like 30% faster. So starting with transportation. Смотреть, что у нас случилось. Так, сейчас посмотрим журнал. С панорамными камерами намажьте какие-то проблемы. Окей. As I understand, the panoramic cameras are somewhere here. Yeah?
Big must. So you have to take it out, and it's not easy because it's connected in many different places.
Okay, so maybe we can analyze it firstly. Or is there some?
It's like a set, like an engine, so you have to take out the whole set. And you can see on the red there are some parts which need to be disassembled first. So you need to take those cables out. And the screws.
Yeah, here's a question. Can we build play rovers in Occupy Mars?
For now in Occupy Mars you don't have time to work on the rovers because you have to survive, and in Occupy Mars you just don't have time. There is too much other things to do. Maybe later we'll add something related with rovers, but for now we have this big rover which is helpful. But this game is like after Occupy Mars, when you have the working base and you can focus on.
I'm a little confused how to.
You have to there is this engine out there. If
I
you
know
left
just
click,
how to pose the camera.
if you left click on this part, then you
Okay.
you will focus on it. And now you can disassemble. Yeah. So for now rovers are in this game, and in Occupy Mars you focus on building the base around it. So that's how it works. In here you are just a mechanic, and you can safely work because other people are taking care of the base, the food and oxygen, so you don't have to worry. And now the big part can be dismounted. Yeah, so you will take the whole part, the whole mast to the table.
Yeah, and fix it in the same way as engine, yeah, in previous time.
Yes, but it's slightly bigger.
Yeah, it's feeling better. And it's faster.
So this is just the first level. If you play a little longer, you will upgrade your speed. You will be able to do everything much faster, both assembly and disassembly. Okay, so you have the mast, and now you can fix it. So I would advise to first analyze the problem. I think that the task said something about the cameras.
Yeah.
So let's analyze everything here.
Okay, so
we are always worried about the red parts.
Yeah.
You can also check this under this one and that one. This one is already analyzed, but check also the right one. This one is broken.
That's the problem.
This is the pan cam.
Okay, so
which is making panorama pictures of Mars. So we have to take it out. In here you have a color filter inside, and you have to check if this is okay or not. I think the color filter is fine in this case, but analyze it. Is it okay?
Analyzing this.
Yeah. So since it's fine, it's only the pancam main part that requires fixing. So you have to unscrew it.
Yeah, done.
And now check in the tablet the exact name of the part. It will be easier to fix. Yeah.
Pancam. Okay.
Yeah, so we just pancam.
Somewhere at the bottom too. Yeah.
There was a hash count, so I think it's
We
slightly.
can search it in English.
Yes. Because we didn't switch the keyboard to Russian. We don't want to go to Windows, switch it back, and just to show the stream, but we can do it.
Let's make another try in Poland.
Okay, maybe this time. Yeah, this AI is just too good.
I saw other guys were streaming. Were they? Oh, that's it. Was there any situations they won?
Was there what?
I saw the streams where other guys were playing. Were there any situations they won? Okay, I see. High score. Yeah, 100. So
yeah, you can win this, but you just have to be fast. It's still printing because it's a big part.
Yeah. Okay,
It's almost ready.
Finished. And I'm going back to construct here. So putting back new pancam. something else? I think not.
Probably only the Pancam.
Yeah. Okay. Going back to Rover. Wait, not like this. I'm gonna put him back and connect everything. Hey guys, and if you have any questions, it's a great opportunity to ask. Okay. As again, it doesn't matter, yeah? Which one of them? Or we should scan in the...
You should scan to be sure. But I think both will be okay because one is from the top and the other is from the bottom. So
yeah.
they are both good.
Okay, no. Yeah, one of the bottom we will use. Something else? Yeah, on the bottom.
The bottom one.
Putting it back.
Okay.
It's good.
Probably it's done. Just make sure
Let's
it's
check,
tablet.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's only the configurator. And you are going through the tutorial still, but I think you have like 2 or 3 missions left in the tutorial, and then you will have everything enabled. So you will be able to choose from a lot of different rovers, missions, and you still have to see the electronic board fixing. There's another table for that, so it will be soon.
Phantom errors, right? And I was really looking forward to 23rd of March.
Yes, we too, but even the rover updates turned out it takes some time to do it, but we just want to make sure everything is working great, and we don't want you guys to have any problems with saves, things like that. That's why we just want everything to we just give ourselves additional time to make each update really working well. Great.
That's it. Okay, so yeah, everything's done. Tension's over. Good.
Great. Now we can continue and
Yeah.
let's see what task do we have now.
Так, Opportunity был найден недалеко от нашей третьей базы, частично покрытой пылью. Мы предполагаем, что пыль препятствовала выработке энергии солнечной панелью, поскольку марсоход остановился и отключился. Так, частично покрытой пылью, солнечной панелью, хорошо. Так. Okay, so as well we're taking the rover. Oops, not there. Okay. solar panel. Так, очистка деталей. Желтоватый оттенок на неанализированных деталях означает, что деталь загрязнена. Чтобы проверить сломанную деталь, нужно ее отсоединить и очистить на верстаке. После этой операции вы можете проанализировать очищенную деталь на складе. Помните, что вы не можете присоединять или анализировать грязные детали. Так, окей. Вот мы сразу, as we see, here's a detail. We need
What's interesting in this game is that you can learn about the parts by if you roll over the parts, you can read which part is used for what in the actual real rovers. So if you hover over some parts, you will see the description here. So it's really, I think this game is the best way to learn in detail how those rovers are made, because you will have to read some NASA documentation, some boring PDFs to learn how this is made, and in this game you can just learn by playing.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't think that there are a lot of sources to learn about it.
Yes, it was actually pretty hard to find some details about the rovers, how they are made, to model them properly. So we had to search in the web archive, for example, especially for the Sojourner rover, which was released like many years ago. Try rotating the part still, because it's still it can be still dirty on the other way. So you just like cancel the cleaning, then you have to clean again.
Okay.
Yes, and now try to rotate it, and here you also have some parts to clean, and it should go to 0. Probably there's okay, great. So now it should be clean. And yes, but it's clean. But now check if it's not
damaged.
No, it's not here. It's in the tablet, right? Because it's not a set. Here, because some people forget that parts can be either dirty or broken, but it also can be both. Sometimes it's dirty and broken, and then you have to.
Let's remind me the name.
You have to print the same panel. It's the rear panel, so it's probably this one, right? So maybe you want to try another game, because Pong is really hard. So now try to install Space Invaders.
Okay, as I remember. At what?
Yes, if you press Escape and go to the the board over the table, there is a like tip how to type it here. So you just change the Pong to Invaders.
Like a little Easter egg.
Yes, and there is more Easter eggs. You just have to look for them. And
Pong and okay, so where's the other names of the games?
Yeah, so the others are more hidden, so you have to just look or think about what's possible. But for now, we can try the Invaders, because there is an icon of a Space Invader. Up to get
install Invaders. Yeah.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay, and now we have the game.
Where's the shooter?
just like in the old times. So it's the best way to kill time when you are making for Mars, playing all those classic games.
As I understand, it's like just a tutorial, and then it will take much more time to construct the details and to create the details.
Yes, for now you have
Just a few minutes.
quite easy tasks. Sometimes in the game, later in the game, you receive some riddles which you have to solve. Like, you have some riddle text, and then you have to think about what does it mean and which part should I find and fix. Okay, so you have the panel. So you should be able to attach it for now.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's fine. Yeah,
Actually, if you roll over the parts after you mount it, you can read some descriptions about what is this part actually.
Let's do.
But you still have to mount
yeah.
that one. For example, here, right?
Так, такие держатели удерживают сложные солнечные панели вместе, пока марсоход находится внутри аэродинамической капсулы. Так они так же важны, как и держатели мачты. Окей, good. What are something else?
I think that's all. Now the configuration.
Yeah.
But let's check.
Every time I'm checking.
But it's better to check because you want to have as much XP as possible. Oh, you have an easy one this time.
I think we'll get a rock again, yeah?
Yes, I think soon you will have electricity and rank up, so you can add another rank. For example,
let's try
faster disassembly or assembly or something completely different.
Сокращать время, необходимое для пайки компонентов. Yeah, we didn't try it yet. Сокращать время установки деталей на 300 на 30 от базового времени. Удаляет помехи с... What exactly is CCD camera?
Is the one when you put the Rover package on the table, you use the crane, there is a camera and it's glitching. So you using the skill you can fix the camera. So it will look better.
Yeah, let's try it.
Actually, I never tried this skill. But you can try it right now, right? So you just have to take the task because right now you don't have any task to do. So let's see what's the problem here. The Hascam probably.
Okay, and here?
Here you can choose the standard service or the premium one, but it will be available after the tutorial. Right now it's not, but you are close to finishing the tutorial. I think you need 2 more tasks to do, and then you'll be able to do a premium task, which are time limited. So then you have to do something quicker to gather more points. Yeah, so what's the problem here?
So, у марсохода, который мы даем тебе, серьезные проблемы со сканированием местности. Он продолжает врезаться в препятствия, так как его камеры избегания опасности были сломаны. Возможно, ему требуется хорошая чистка, но было бы лучше, если бы ты взглянул на него. Okay, so again a problem with camera.
there is no glitching right now.
Yeah.
So that's the skill.
But let's go to Rover. Okay, the problem is somewhere here again.
I'm not sure because there are different cameras in the Rover.
Yeah.
For example, I think this one is a pan cam, so it should be there. I mean the has cam, right? So it's one on the front which checks for obstacles if the Rover can get closer or not. It's maybe this one, but try to analyze it.
Yes, that's it.
So you always have to be careful to check which part is broken before you take it apart, because then you lose some time. And especially if you do a premium order, it's really important to do it fast. And here, 2 more cables to the camera. Okay, and now go to the table and see what's broken.
So maybe
that's the old panel.
Okay.
Later we'll use the crusher to get rid of the missing parts. Let's see what's the problem. This one and the boards.
Is there any sense to analyze something else?
I think for now it's only the camera, but in the next quest there may be electronic board inside which is broken.
Was it written something about cleaning it? Yeah.
No, I don't have to clean it. You just have to replace the part, right? Because in this case the camera is broken, so what is it called?
Hascam.
That's the Hascam, and that's the Hascam camera probably. This one, right? This is the broken one. So it should be here. Later, when we add Curiosity Rover, there will be a lot more parts. So for now we can find it. Yes, it's this one, right? So you only, I think you only need this. And meanwhile, we can go to the crusher and check if we can get rid of our part, because we have too many. But we just need to make sure that we don't need it, because we can destroy those, but this also. But there are some parts which you disassembled in your queue is full. So you can now take it, and you restore your resources. So you just need to be careful. If you destroy the Hascam totally, then it would be a problem. So try not to do it. So meanwhile, you can also look for some Easter eggs and clues, like with the invaders. There are some. Did you try the radio? You can also switch the stations.
Just on the start. If someone is bored, switch it on there. Okay.
Yeah, that's the current temperature outside and inside on Mars, and pressure and things like that. CO2 composition. Okay, so now we have to go back to the table. Because the camera needs to be replaced. I think that's all for this one.
Mars. Would you be able to become a volunteer, for example, for I don't know, first travel of people on Mars?
Hmm. Maybe not for the first one, but I'm really interested in going there one day. So I think it's even more interesting to work on building something on Earth which will let us live on Mars. So there are some companies right now which build rockets, but also which build habitats for Mars. There is Mars Society, which is doing great work on. They are doing this case study in the Utah desert where people live for many months in a simulated Martian habitat, and they have to grow their own food. They can't go to some shop and buy things. They need to rely on what they can produce, and they analyze how is it working. Do they see some major problems, like will they starve or not, like things like that. So there is a lot of interesting things to do to make the colonization of Mars possible, even right now on Earth, or what SpaceX is doing with their rockets. It's super interesting work. Okay, so now we have still some another task with PMA, but something different is broken this time.
Итак, вчера панорамные камеры Opportunity начали работать со сбоями. Мы провели несколько простых тестов, и кажется, что объекты в порядке, а это значит, что проблема в электронике. Возможно, сейчас неплохое время, чтобы что-то припаять или отпаять. Okay.
So it may be the electronics this time. So we'll learn how to use the electronic table.
Yeah. By the way, that's the first time I saw this green tip.
So I talked about the Mars Society simulated base, but there are more bases like that. Even in Poland, there is a simulated Mars habitat, which is called Lunares mission, because it simulates both lunar and Mars missions. And yeah, so this one is correct. Right now we have to focus on the mast again. There is some problem probably with electronics on the mast, right?
Yeah. So first we need to take it out. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So there is I think near Poznań in Poland there is a giant hangar, which was military plane hangar some time ago, but now it's turned into Martian base. And inside you have some pressurized rooms, but also you have an EVA room, like a part of hangar where you have Martian regolith, and you have to put your EVA suit on and to go inside, because you assume there is no oxygen there. So it's also a very cool mission. A simulated one, but you can feel it just like on Mars, and it's also a lot of science is going on there to learn not only about how to survive on Mars, what do we need, what to produce, but also about human human emotions and problems like with psychology, which happen if you are closed, because the teams selected for that mission are probably for 3 to 6 months in the closed hangar, sitting there just trying to survive, just like on Mars, but it's hard from the psychological perspective for these people. So there's a lot of studies done in there, and I assume there's places like that in many countries, not only here. So it's really good that a lot of people are working on making the Mars projects possible. Yeah, so let's analyze everything and see what can be broken again. Maybe it's inside this yellow. Maybe
Okay,
it's.
so we need to take it out, yeah?
Yes, I will do it. Because there is definitely some problem with electronics and all the other parts seem to be green. So yeah, so you can analyze it,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Just
you
put
can
it
also
back.
do it this way. Yeah, it's probably almost working. Let's try this, a second one. Maybe there's also a problem with filter, but we will see later. Yeah, let's try this one, analyzing it.
Okay.
Yeah, but you took the
Yeah.
right one because the tutorial kicked in,
Yeah.
so you can.
Вы только что удалили печатную плату. Это как набор, но вместо верстака вам нужно использовать стол для исследования печатных плат, для работы с подобными вещами. Подойдите к столу исследования печатных плат и выберите печатную плату для ее анализа. Okay.
So now we have to go to the other table.
Where is
on
it?
the other side of hanger. This one.
Yeah.
So that was the instruction, but I assume you. It works mostly the same way as.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now you are taking the part out and you are not sure if this is the broken one, so it's better to also analyze them using the number 3.
Okay, let's put it back anyway.
Yeah, you can, but you can also analyze the another.
Yeah, but I should like go out of the table, yeah, then go into.
Yeah, you can now press 3 and analyze these parts. This one is broken. This one is good. This one is good. This one is more or less, and this one is broken. So mostly those two red ones need to be taken apart. Yeah, so this one. Right, and now if you go to 3D printer, you will use different category of parts, which is electronics. It's on the right, so you have also electronic parts and electronic sets. And now, which one is broken?
Memory C,
Okay. Yeah, they are very small, so they print really fast.
Yeah.
And they even have the smaller boxes. Yeah, so that's the one. Assembly.
Well, it's ready. Okay, so we put it back.
Yeah, so we have to put it back on the second table.
I'm just wondering how the guys made this game in such small details.
Yeah.
Okay, have you disconnected something else?
No, I think that's all. And now we can put it back.
Here.
so it takes some time, but now you learned how to fix electronic boards, which is not easy even in real life.
Yeah. And we should remember that the name of the game is Mechanic Simulator. So as in real life, it will take time.
No, right, but it is really satisfying if you want to just relax after work, sit down and just take this rover into those tiny parts, and you don't have to worry about losing any screw. Because you just... Oh, there is some other problem still.
Тестите прикажете, что объектив в порядке, значит, что проблема в электронике. Возможно, сейчас неплохое время, чтобы что-то прекратить. Okay, so maybe some other board is broken, yeah?
Or the problem is that we didn't attach those motors.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the one. Because the rover is not complete. Because I think that the mast is yellow or green right now. So it's maybe the case of those motors. Okay, some people barely hear us, so we will try to speak louder and maybe upgrade our microphone slightly.
Yeah. Hey guys, if you mention something, just write it in the chat.
Yes, if somebody has a problem with volume or something, just let us know. We'll try to adjust everything. Okay. So maybe that now the rover should be complete.
Yeah.
Yes, it's green. Maybe I will put the microphone even closer.
Yeah. How it is now? Could you write, please?
Is it like louder? Better now? Okay, let's finish this one. A bit better. Okay, great. Because the microphone is turned up to the max, but maybe we can boost it in the system. This microphone is just I mean, it's a very good microphone, but it's by default it's very quiet. I'm not sure why is it made this way, but we'll try to make it work. Okay. So I think yes, we are close to finishing the tutorial.
Let's check. Yeah.
Yes, and you ranked up again. A lot of XP, so you can choose another upgrade, but there is...
Okay, so хорошая работа. Поздравляем, вы только что закончили учебные миссии, и теперь вы можете начать работать с планетоходами самостоятельно. Давно пора сказать добро пожаловать к Rover Mechanic Simulator. Выполняйте заказы, наслаждайтесь замечательными планетоходами и изучайте их сложное устройство. Помните, что новый контент уже в пути. Развлекайтесь и заботьтесь о своем здоровье и безопасности. Next, премиум заказы. Yeah, how you told it. Некоторые заказы имеют премиальные задачи. Если услуга премиум сервиса является желанной, вы можете выбрать между предоставлением обычной услуги и предоставлением премиум услуги в правой части экрана выбора заказа. Остерегайтесь последствий. Рассматривайте премиальный заказ как уровень сложности эксперт. Хотя это шанс заработать больше ресурсов, завершить премиальный заказ очень трудно, тогда как неудача урежет 70% от вашего вознаграждения. И бесспорно вы не можете перезапустить премиальный заказ. Однако всегда интересно поднимать ставки. Okay.
Okay, now you have a lot of missions from many different companies. Yeah. And you can just choose which mission you like to do first.
So I don't think I'm so good in this game, so I'll start from something.
So the easier rover is the Sojourner, but do you have any missions from it still? Yes, there are those. And I think that those greens probably, the green missions are probably the tutorial ones which you can repeat.
And
but this one you can repeat, but this one is a new one, so better. it's
Yeah.
better to do this one. And there is some electronics problem and solar panel. So here you can just disassemble the rover completely, and if you want you can use the premium task to make, but you will have to do it in 30 minutes time. So you can try if you want.
Okay, let's do. So, во время тестовой поездки Соджонер перевернулся вверх ногами. Выглядит он не очень. Пожалуйста, проверь, все ли нормально. Okay, so solar panel, antenna, and this board, where it could be.
I think it's because this is very small rover, so the board is inside in the box, like in the middle of the rover.
Okay, so let's take it.
Yeah. And you have to right now you can see the time is passing because you chose the premium order. So yeah, you have to be quick, and you have to disassemble the solar panel, because first it's broken and second, under the solar panel there is the board.
Okay, so taking it out. I don't think there is.
You can analyze for the panel.
What should I use? I told that it's bad. Okay,
so to disassemble it, you need to disassemble first something else. It should be, if you hover over the solar panel, there should be some parts in red. So you will be able to. Probably the antenna. Right. Now you can take it apart. Yes, the screws are under the panel.
And from no, just from
it's away. So now the cover. And here you have the board.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, and there was something else broken, but we can check later, right?
Antenna.
Yeah, so
wait, let's check it.
And check which parts are in your inventory, which are good or not. You can analyze them. This one is broken completely, but the other, the cover and antenna.
Yeah. Okay, let's start from, I don't know, solar panel.
Yes.
But that's
check if it requires cleaning. No. It's probably.
So we can make just a new one. Solar panel and LMRE antenna. Okay.
It's the Sojourner Rover, so the parts are on the bottom. This one.
This one and another was here.
Okay.
Let's search some Easter eggs.
What is that?
Okay.
No, that's a medkit. It's very useful, but the players need to figure out for what.
Can we go out? Nope.
No, you are closed forever. You have to fix all the rovers first. No, it's like on Mars we have to be really strict about our tasks. So if somebody is a rover mechanic, he just has to work on them. There is no.
Okay, maybe
There's nothing you can do. Yes, but also you have the broken board, so maybe check on the table if there is something you can do to make it work, or do you have to just fix everything? Yeah, so this part is broken, but also maybe something else. This one. So definitely 2 condensators. Most of the board seems to be fine. Just two condensators are broken.
those all parts should be ready. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. And let's continue with the board. No, with what do we have?
The second table.
Yeah, we don't have anything to fix.
Yes, so those two.
Well,
Okay.
seems
And
to
now
be-
I think you can put everything back together and
Yeah.
see what's missing. I think you didn't analyze the cover, so it's good to go to the tablet and still analyze the cover
let's
just to
try.
make sure that it's
Yeah.
working okay. Yes. We also have the round thing.
Wait.
So now assembly mode, right? And you can put it back.
This cover. Okay, good.
And antenna.
yeah.
Did we print the new one? Let's try to put it.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. Yeah, we have the new one. And that's probably everything. Just maybe we'll do it on time. Yeah, but check if everything is done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Nope. What way can we use? 3. We have -1, -2. Let's try something like this. Do we have enough? Yeah. So we need to put 2 here, 2 here, and 1 here. Yeah.
Okay, great. So is everything finished on time? Is it
I think
possible?
yes.
Yes, we are good. So you
20 extra minutes.
yes, you will get a lot of XP points.
Good.
Yes.
New level up.
And you can now go to the technology tree and upgrade. I think you have 2 missing. Yes, you have 2
yeah.
points to use.
Okay, so
So
let's see what
this is the only task which is not available in the early access yet. It's a 3D printer accessible from the tablet. So this is the part here. If you after early access we will enable this and you won't have to go to the printer every time. So it's I think it's useful, very useful upgrade.
Okay, so it's a decrease of the price. Запчасти планетохода становятся. Okay. What there? Should I read it, by the way?
No, you whatever you want. If you want to.
And we can rank it up.
Yes, you can have disassembly level 2.
Okay, let's.
And you can also use. You have 3 points, I think. So.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh yeah, you already So now it will be very fast to disassemble the screws.
So we may take
Next
user
missions.
things. Maybe something more, like something harder.
So harder it will be with this yellow bar.
No, it's the price. I
Yeah,
think. Okay.
this
The
may
bigger
be,
price.
it
Yeah.
may be related because the bigger price, the bigger the task.
Okay.
Let's
Let's
see.
read what's
You
it.
can click on multiple and check what's the problem in each of them. This one is related to the suspension system.
Yeah.
Rocker, boogie, and balancer.
Wait, have we worked with opportunity?
We have spirit and opportunity. They are similar, but they have different solar panels. I'm not sure on which one you worked, if it was opportunity or spirit, but you can check.
So probably, I don't know. What do you think?
Something harder is probably this one with suspension. This one probably.
Let's try it.
Without the timing.
Let's do this.
However you prefer.
Want more money?
Okay, this is a bonus task.
Yeah.
So
пока марсоход ехал по скалистому плато, система Rocket Bogey сломалась. Замени что необходимо и проверь, есть ли другие детали, требующие замены. Okay, as far as I understand, Rocket Bogey it's like a system of balancing, yeah?
Yes. Do you need something to drink or anything? I can.
No.
I will go for a moment to read all my messages.
Okay.
Be right back.
Guys, reminding you that if you have any questions, you can ask me and Jacek will be glad to answer for it. So, Rocker Bogey. Okay, that seems bad. Okay, just that side. Here is good, wheels are good, and here is also broken. Okay, so let's get it out. Well, we need to go quite deep. Yeah, by the way, this feels that we unlocked. Looks quite nice. We're saving a lot of time. Okay, good. Let me remind. Yeah, we should take all the wheels. save here. I don't wanna be alone. Please write something in the chat. Would do that. Okay, so taking it off. And it really seems kind of complicated comparing to the other tasks we've done. Great. So from this side I think that's all. Let's take this off. Okay, well, okay, the last connection. And I think we can take it off, yeah? Oh, no. It's more complicated. Let's check it out. Yeah, that's what we needed. Let's see what we've done. Rock and balance here, and we're gonna print new ones. Let's check it one more time. Rock and balance here, G, and it's good. Where's the other? Wait. Here, body, rock and balancer and body. Let's search for it.
Okay, so I'm back. How is it going?
Good.
Did you found the problem with the rocker buggy?
Yeah. Just forgot what's the another detail. Body.
Boogie R. So the right one.
Yeah.
Is it this
it's
one?
back? No. Here.
This one, okay.
Let's discover it more.
So some players really asked us to make this big rover repairable, so you can disassemble it. But maybe later. This is the rover which you will be using at some point in Occupy Mars as well. So how is the printing going? Because you have the time.
Just
time
one
mission,
finished.
so you have to be quick.
What's it? We got.
You have a lot of parts which you can crash, I think, in the crasher.
Just after this
Yes.
mission. Yes.
Mhm.
Not like this. Another one. Yeah, here.
You have this part already, okay. Some people still say that the microphone is not loud enough, so after this mission maybe we'll do a quick break and try to boost the mic. Okay.
And some other. No, can connect it. It really saves time.
Mhm.
Sort skill.
Yeah, especially the disassembly, because assembly is still slower, but if you disassemble everything it should be very fast. There's another skill for assembly. So you analyze everything, both parts, right and left.
And got two broken.
Mm-hmm.
No. It doesn't matter what.
Yeah, they are the same. And the second part is probably done, printing.
Yeah.
And you have 19 minutes left.
Yeah, but we need just to connect it, and that's all. Ah, no. Rebooting drivers as well.
Mm-hmm.
So many connections.
Yeah, this one has a lot, but the whole weight of the rover is like depending on it.
What software do you use to live streams? OBS Studio?
Yeah, it's OBS.
Here, something else? Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Will not make him nervous. Ah. Yeah, it's like, please do not.
I make you nervous?
No, I think they mean like when you're saying that I don't have time.
Ah, yeah. No, it's 17 minutes, it's a lot of time. You could fix even curiosity in this time.
Is the hardest one curiosity?
Yeah, it's not finished yet, it's still under implementation. It's hardest to implement also, not only to play, but to make it work. It has a lot of parts. Curiosity has, for example, generator, because all those rovers are solar powered, and Curiosity has a nuclear reactor. It's a thermonuclear reactor, RCT, RTG, and you have to also disassemble it in a good way. So a lot of different mechanics. Also Curiosity has some new mechanics which the game currently doesn't support. Like, for example, it can store rocks inside, and it can jam. For example, if you dig for a rock, the rock can be stuck inside the container, so you have to disassemble the container and then take the rock out if it's stuck. So it's like a part which you take out of the rover, but you don't have to put it back. So this is the thing that we are working on the next update. and the next big update, because probably we'll also add some more languages, but the next big update will be Curiosity Rover. And yeah, and the game is evolving. With each rover we add something new, which is important for the game.
Right, almost finished.
The last wheel. The most problematic wheel.
Okay, seems good.
Do we
Let's
have
check
everything? Something still missing.
Nope.
What might be left? Do you have the wheel covers? Maybe there's something else broken. If you read the
Instructions. Not only rocker body.
That's why it's so important to always read the description of a problem. So something with the antenna, or
Antenna?
what was in the description? It was
No,
in Russian.
or something else. Like
Okay.
you should change rocker body and check other details that needs to be changed. Let me remember.
Maybe just analyze each part, starting from the wheels, those little parts on the body. I think it might be related. Maybe also solar panels require cleaning.
Here is good. Here, I didn't analyze
Is
the
this one good?
Yeah, good. Here's some checked solar panel. Yeah, it's dirty.
If you it's the dirty solar panels. All right.
Three of them.
So there is a lot of disassembling to get to those panels.
Yeah.
So yes. Right away you can read about all those parts and details and solar panels, which
Yeah,
are.
but I don't think that now we have time.
Yeah, we have a time
That was
task.
a game making me nervous.
Yeah. So maybe we'll not be able to do it on time.
Okay.
Yeah, don't forget to clean the panels. Thank you, Brad.
Yeah, thanks. Wait,
We actually forgot.
Yeah. Why can't I disconnect because of this?
No, I think you don't have to disconnect this one. You just
Why?
have
It's
to.
dirty.
Yeah, the panel, yes, but not the thing on top. So start with this. Try to on the panel itself.
Just
Okay.
yeah, without connecting.
And now. Now you can.
Good.
This one and that one, and also the middle one. The middle one is tricky. I am checking our Discord to see what players are
Okay.
chatting
Wait.
about.
What's there? Still can disconnect.
Yeah, the topic on the Discord is still mostly about the coronavirus and the antivirus currently.
Yeah. Okay, so for disconnecting this, we need to also
Yes.
disconnect this.
Yes, it's just a hierarchical structure.
Well, it's easy to forget about the solar panels. Could you read it, please?
It's easy to forget about the solar panels. I ran out of time once because I was looking at everything else for problems. Then finally realized it was the dirty panels. Yeah, exactly. That's what almost we did. So we have 11 minutes, but maybe we'll make it.
That's what I said. I wanted something more complicated.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, and the mid one.
Okay, the current chat on our Rover Mechanic Discord is about everything except Rover Mechanic. So I can tell you that, for example, there is a talk here about dinosaurs, lizards, Spider-Mans. What else? Of course, typical questions about Occupy Mars release date. Wrong channel. What else? More lizards, cats, lions, uranium cats, and rickrolls. Yeah, so our Discord is awesome. You should all join. we have cats, we have Spider-Mans, we have dinosaurs, everything. Yes.
Coronavirus memes.
Yes, I should focus on the stream. That's the message from the Discord. I will. Okay.
Here done.
You are very fast in cleaning this. The clean master. Coronavirus memes. Yes. We should have some solar panel sanitizer just in case. And also, Mars is currently the only planet free of the virus, so that's another argument for colonization. I think maybe we should just all the healthy people should go to Mars for like two weeks, wait out the epidemic, and then we are back from this adventure.
It's cleaning badly in the corners.
Yeah, it's the hardest to clean in the corners because this dirt is just sticking there. By the way, it's interesting to know how this cleaning actually works in the game. So the more dirt, actually the dirt is harder to clean in the places where we have more triangles and polygons, because that's how this mechanic works. But this is very realistic, because in places where you have some complicated shape, there you have the most work to take the dirt out. So it's just interesting how it worked out with this mechanic. It was one way. It was the easier way to implement it, because it's just based on the mesh of the model, and also it's more realistic, by the way, so win-win. And another screw. This one screw is always I always forget about it. And now the panels and the antennas, and maybe we'll be on time.
I hope so. Where was antenna? So many.
Yes, and the holders. This part is only used for holding the solar panels when the rover is like inside the spaceship.
Yeah.
When it was sent from Earth to Mars, it was all the panels were folded, and the holders are just needed to hold the panels in distance between one another, not to break during the landing. Oh, by the way, the weather in Poland currently is just crazy. Not sure about you guys, but we have very strong winds. I'm just looking at the window. It's just like 100 kilometers per hour wind with rain and with I'm not sure what else. Some falling ice. Crazy weather. Only 8 minutes. Can you do it? Now it's 6:30, so it will be a very close call.
Yeah.
This panel and that panel,
And the other,
and then configurator.
Okay, great.
We've done this one. Now this one. The stream turned into a speedrun stream. Unexpectedly.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's ready.
Now the configurator.
Wait, we'll check.
Oh,
No.
something else. Do we miss
Still
something? Any other part? Some antenna? Oh, there is the magnet still requires cleaning.
Wait, we need to
Super
take
fast cleaning. By the way, this magnet is the part which collects dirt on the rovers. So it attracts the dirt because it's a magnet. So this way less dirt stays on the panels. So it's a very useful part, which is unfortunately hard to clean because of all the dirt. But we are now very good at cleaning stuff, so should go well. Yes, ending task on time. 0. Great. 4 minutes.
Somewhere here.
Yes, but just assembly mode. Press 2
Yeah.
and do it. Okay, let's check if this is the everything. Do we have everything?
No.
Still something? What might be left? Antenna? No.
I don't really know. No pressure. Is it dirt? No, it's not.
No, it's not. I think you cleaned everything.
Okay, so
Maybe something is broken. Maybe some of the panels. Maybe the antenna. Maybe this one.
Yeah.
This one. Ah, okay. So this was a hard task.
maybe firstly, manage with drivers and then make new
Yeah.
antenna.
Yes, but we are the devs, but we are not the rover mechanic devs. I just wanted to point out. So rover mechanic devs would just do it in like probably half the time or even less. They saw these tasks too many times. But we are the devs from a different project.
Yeah.
So I played a few missions of rover
No,
mechanic.
we can't. Fortunately.
So yeah, it's printing. What else do we just need to
Yeah, to
configure and
that's all.
put the antenna. But how much time do we have left?
Keeping my fingers crossed for you guys. Thanks.
This is really a nail-biter, yes. We need some like cheerleaders to print faster. You don't have any skill 3 points to make the printing
No.
faster. Yes, we are Occupy Mars devs, right? That's we are very tired Occupy Mars devs with very little sleep.
Good. Come here.
So it may have an impact on our skills in rover mechanic as well.
Where is it? Here.
Suspenseful music, everything is perfect. Assembly. 1 minute 50 seconds.
Now didn't connect.
One, two, three, 4.
Good.
Is it everything? Mission Impossible music. No time to check, we just have to run. Whatever happens. Oh, the hard one.
Yeah. Wait. So there should be. No.
Yeah, probably.
No. This one. Here.
that one.
Okay, 4. We need 4, 3. Minus 3. I don't know. 2 and wait.
What about this one? Try to add. Yeah.
Here
3 and minus 2.
minus 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just give the task away. 30 seconds.
Wait.
Do we have time? Yes,
Yeah.
do it. To the last second. Yes.
Good.
Achievement unlocked. Ah, perfect. It was perfect. Are you tired?
Yeah, my head's becoming wet.
The rover is secured. The base will not collapse. Okay. Do you want to have a little break and
Yeah.
I can make another task?
Yeah.
Because it was hard. Woohoo! Congratulations, yes. You made it.
Hopefully the mouse included.
Oh yes. So I will try to switch language because I'm not very good at Russian. Actually, I'm really bad at Russian. But meanwhile, maybe I will try to do something with the mic to make it sound louder. So, just a second. Okay, is the mic louder now? Can you hear us better? We need some feedback on the sound.
That was exciting.
Yes, the watching people are also need to rest after this exciting event, timing event. Okay. Sounds the same. I have boosted the mic 4 decibels. Maybe I have to do the same on the Windows. Let's see. Do we have the mic here? Not this one.
It's another menu.
Probably somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere here. Levels. Okay, it's really boosted now. Can you hear the difference? Okay. Can you now hear better? It should be really louder. Yes, too loud now. Okay. We have 21st century, 2020, and still those problems with things like volume and hangouts, like online communication, not solved. Maybe in the 22nd century we'll solve them. How about now? It's now boosted to 85 instead of 100. Maybe I will switch to 80 and maybe slightly more than right now. Okay, so 90. Okay. Should be good. Okay. Okay, so let's select another mission.
Okay, you wanted to switch the language.
Yeah, I need the language. I need to understand.
Or it can be like expert mode, making
Yes,
the task you don't understand.
Expert mode would be Chinese, for example. Let's do this. Playing in super expert Asian mode. I have no idea what that means. Maybe something which at least shows me the possible problem. Okay. This one probably. Let's do this. Yes, we need to live bravely to take on the tasks which are.
No, but you didn't select the premium task.
Yeah, but at least
Okay, anyway, yeah.
it's a first, so I need to just warm up. Okay. Do we have any Chinese viewers here? Maybe you can give us some hints on the chat how to play in Chinese. Okay. Let's see. I assume there is a problem with bearing, so probably the bearing inside the wheels. Oh yes, disassembly plus 3 is very quick. By the way, we will have to check if we have any more points to spare, but let's see. This one is okay. Do we have any more points?
Yeah, 4.
That's the
Is
used
it?
one. One
used
point.
one,
So
yeah.
maybe assembly also, because this one is
Yeah.
maxed out. Assembly will be faster.
Good.
Not sure about the music if you guys hear it, but I stopped hearing it. Maybe
Since your studio is from Poland, maybe Polish would be better.
I will switch soon. Just making the volume a little higher. Of course, Polish would be better, but what challenge would that be? We need to solve challenging problems. We are working on rovers. By the way, did you know that this year there are 3 rovers going to Mars? One is the NASA rover with a very long name, Perseverance. The second one is actually the Chinese rover. So maybe we will add it at some point to the game. The Chinese rover, I think, would be nice, since we have Chinese version right now. And I found the broken bearing. Okay, what about the motor inside? Yeah, it's good enough. Probably the motor is yellow because the bearing was red, so the bearing deteriorated the motor. Makes sense. If it was trying to drive using it, but we need to take the other as well and see. By the way, thank you guys for watching and for staying that long, because it's an update stream and we actually didn't plan to stream very long. Just nice. It's nice if you watch. If you watch, then we will stream. Okay, so maybe I will go now check this one, because it was the front one which was broken, so you never know if this isn't the same, guys. Yes, my suspicions were correct. So, just like in life, if something is broken, then probably on the other side it will also be broken. Because problems like to come in pairs, I would say. Symmetrical. So this is the bearing from the Sojourner rover, and I need the one from Spirit. So it should be probably this one, and I need 2 of them at least. Okay, so it's printing. Meanwhile, I could check. I could put those back on, those which I know that are good. Oh yes, faster assembly. this one is waiting. And what about the other side? I have to check. I didn't analyze one of them. It's more or less good. By the way, we can get rid of some parts which we have too many. Oh, I found the problem. Nice. We have one printed one and fast assembly.
By the way, have you told guys some news about the game, about the discounts on the game?
Yeah, great that you remind. So, to anybody who is watching, you can now buy this game, Rover Mechanic Simulator, on the Humble Store for 20% off. We just launched the Humble Store together with this stream and update. So the guys from Humble Bundle were very nice. They let us put the game on their store. So you can, if you haven't already, I advise to go there and buy it. As you can see, the game it's fun and we have multiple languages, and we now have support for widescreen monitors and more rovers are coming. So as I said earlier, there will be new NASA rover this year launching to Mars, but also China is launching a probe and a rover, a lander rover, and also Europe together with Russia is launching a rover which is, if I remember correctly, it's called it's called by the name of a scientist, but I forgot the name at this point. I know, Rosalind Franklin is the name of the European rover. And it's also a pretty interesting machine because I think it will be the first rover sent from Europe to Mars. Russia sent some landers before, but I don't remember if Russia sent any rover to Mars. There were some missions which failed, so maybe this time the joint mission, maybe that's the point where it will succeed. By the way, I see a lot of dirty panels, but we have made the minimum requirements for the mission. If we had the premium mission, then probably we would have to clean everything. And I think we should clean it, but still we don't have to at this point. So maybe let's switch this language to Polish and do some reading. It's awesome that we can do this without rebooting the game. Our team from Rover Mechanic, they did really great job to implement this feature. So
I think you should turn off the
the configurator. Yeah, so it's really great that we can do it. So let's do some disassembling. By the way, I always like to read all those descriptions to learn about the rover. So here I can read that solar panels are the main source of energy for the Mare and Sojourner rovers. In the case of Spirit and Opportunity, the solar panels were able to generate about 900 watt-hours per day. So the rover can be fully functional and in contact with Earth. In order to do it, the rover needs to have 200 watt-hours of energy. So the rovers give a lot. The rovers give the solar panels give 900 watt-hours per day. So there is always some backup because the rover only needs 200. It's things like this that I really like about games, when you can really learn something important that's may be useful and interesting. And I just learned that. That's opportunity need 200 watt hours to work, at least to communicate. It's a pity that this rover is now stranded on Mars, waiting for the rescue, broken. I hope we will go there one day and find it, fix it, maybe put it in a museum, but after cleaning all the panels, after switching all the missing bolts, because those rovers really did a great job. Like, they were designed to work for, I think, 90 days, 3 months, and Opportunity worked for, I don't remember exactly, 8 years or more. It's awesome. It's just amazing how much longer than it was designed. So with this game, we really wanted to just pay tribute to the NASA engineers and who built it and who sent it to Mars, who operated it for such a long time, because it's not like the rover was just sent to Mars and everything was good. Sometimes they had to, react on some problems. So the guys from JPL had to modify the software to solve the problem, then send the software to Mars, which is crazy, like sending a software update millions of miles away, because the rover is going in the wrong direction, or I think one time there was a problem that one of the cameras, like the Hascam, didn't see the way in front, because the ground in front was very reflective, and it just couldn't find the rover didn't know where to go, like if there is an obstacle or not. So the engineers had to quickly adjust the filters in the software and upload it to the rover through those giant antennas. NASA has this, I think it's called Deep Space Network. They have those giant antennas which they can direct in any direction basically, but if they want to send an update to rover, they direct it in the direction of Mars. They just have, for example, an hour or 2 hours of usage for those radars, and it's like one shot. You have to perfectly align the antenna and then perfectly time the sending of software when the Mars is rotated in front of Earth in the right direction. There is also an orbiter around Mars which is sometimes relaying the data, but I think it's now broken, if I remember correctly. So, or it was broken at some point last year, but maybe they fixed it. So it's amazing how humanity can do this. I mean, we still have problems with microphones being too silent, or problems with Skype not working properly, or things like that. But those guys can just send a working robot to such a great distance away and then just change how it behaves, basically in real time, just with half an hour delay. So yeah, just not everybody appreciates the NASA engineers, and not only NASA but also ESA, Roscosmos, China Space Agency, and others. This is really amazing work they are doing. And with this game we just wanted to say, like, hey, people should learn about it and appreciate this great work, because this is like, if somebody is doing it, I feel like the whole humanity is So they are pushing what's possible to be done by humans. I think this is amazing.
Yeah, I think that's great. It's the fact that the information can go to other planet. Like sometimes I can't even catch my Wi-Fi signal from other room, and that's like the other planet. It's
yes, if
crazy.
somebody was like playing with some radio, like amateur radio stuff before, then you'll know how hard it is sometimes. I wanted to, a few years ago, I wanted to build an antenna which would receive messages from NOAA satellites, because there are some satellites around Earth which are sending like raw images, and if you have an SDR digital radio decoder, you can connect it to your PC, connect it to antenna which you made. It can be done with a TV cable basically, and a few like rods, and you can retrieve actual images from the meteorology satellites. But that's the theory, and in practice, turns out it's really hard to make it work.
Yeah.
Because there is always some problem. There is some tree which is blocking the signal, or the antenna is in like 1 degree off target, or you were like 2 seconds too late to start receiving because those satellites are rotating, or they are going around the Earth, so you always have to time perfectly the moment when the satellite is starting broadcasting the image, and then a few minutes later it's gone and behind the horizon. So I think I managed to like download half of image, which was very like, of course it's analog, so it's not if there is some missing signal, we don't get like empty pixels, we just get some noise, like with the old television. So the image was very noisy. It like downloaded half of it only, but for me it was, I just felt like a NASA engineer, even if I received a few like pixels of this image. So it's really interesting to do, and if somebody wants, who's watching the stream, if you want to try, you can search for, you can Google for NOAA satellite SDR radio download, something like that, and you can find tutorials how to build such antenna and try to do it with your own PC. It's really fun, and you can learn a lot about radio tech, and basically how orbits are working. Of course, unless you played Kerbal Space Program, because then you are an expert in orbits. Okay, so this is the solar holder. It holds the solar panels in the folded position when the rover is like folded to transport them to landing on Mars. What else do we have here? In Polish it's called zawias. This one is bigger because it has an electric motor inside to actually fold and unfold the panels on its own. Okay, this task is really long, so I'm glad I didn't take the premium one, because I wouldn't be able to clean everything. Okay, this side is done. Now the rear one.
Anyway, due to my calculations, you still have like 5-7 minutes.
Which one?
Due to my calculations, like
Uh-huh.
if you would.
I would still have time.
Yeah.
Well,
By the way, do you know what is the fate of the rovers that are not working more?
yes. No, they are just staying there, gathering dust. So I hope we can find them one day, unless we are not. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why we should go to the Mars as soon as possible, because if we wait another 10 years, rovers will be covered in like 1 meter below the dust, the sand, and it will be really hard to find them. Especially the Sojourner rover, the small one. I think it was sent in 1993. So that one's probably already covered in dust. But thankfully we know more or less where they are located, so we can search for them. Actually, I can give you the small hint that in Occupy Mars you can find some rovers if you know how to look for them. That's basically a tribute to rovers. Okay, I think we have everything. Just use the configurator and we are good. This one is locked, so I cannot do it like this.
I think you can go like right side from the beginning.
Yeah, around, other way around. But I have to increase those. This way, right?
Ah, no, bad idea. Not
Good.
enough details.
Yeah, it will be not okay. So let's try this. This is this way, maybe.
Oh, I think I got it.
I still have this one. Maybe it will work.
Not enough.
Oh, just one. I need one more long piece.
You can just go another way.
I can maybe this. I can skip the red one, but do I have enough points?
What do you think about going like this and like this?
I could also try, but maybe this will be enough. I have 6, and if I have 1, no, I have too many. You mean I should go this way?
Left, up, till the
But-
end.
And just
No.
so-
Till the end of up, then go in here.
but this one is blocked.
Ah, okay. I didn't know.
That's the problem. Wait, I have few more pieces.
What minuses do we have? -2, -1.
And this
So
one, so maybe
it should be 8, I think, and -1. So we should cross 1 red and 1 green.
right. But here we have -2. So we cannot use this one. Let's try. Do I? No, I cannot do it like this. Maybe. Maybe I should use. Maybe I should go this way and use only one green and one.
Yeah, that's it.
And one here. Yes. But now I'm missing one part. Okay.
But wait, you're putting
I
it
don't
here?
need this one, right? That's the solution. That's the NASA technology. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, all done. Yes, our combined XP is very high, and we are a sergeant right now, technology sergeant. No more points here. By the way, I wanted to show you guys some new little secret, which is another game. Probably most people will not watch the stream, so it's not like I'm giving away anything, but if I type magic name here, I can download additional game, which wasn't available in the previous update. So the game is the famous Speedwriter, which was also on the Atari. If you had an Atari many years ago. So how fast can you type? Because letters are falling, and with each letter it's getting faster. S T F G R L Z O P N T I X P E N G Z X P N N G. Will I beat the high score? Okay, I bet
You already.
Okay, so that means I will probably fail very soon. Okay, U C V U C V S key. So what do engineers on Mars do when they are bored? Or when parts are printing? Game over. 1060. Okay. I bet most of you didn't know about this game. Okay. So maybe let's try another task. What's the problem? The energy, power, solar panels. We already did that, so I want to show you guys something which you didn't see before. This rover fell on the mast, and now the mast is probably full, but the motors which are controlling the rotation of the mast are not okay. So let's try to fix it. This one is broken, and this one is broken. Yeah, because if the rover fall on the mast, then it probably tried to rotate the mast, but it couldn't because of some rocks blocking.
Discontinued my handle bundle this month because nothing good was there. Guess I'll spend an extra $3 instead of getting the $20 off for this.
You're welcome. I mean, buying on Steam is always on Steam. And I would say thank you, because each extra dollar helps us survive and make Occupy Mars and other games. So if you like Rover Mechanic, of course, buying it is a very good idea. And also, buying Rover Mechanic will maybe let us add more rovers, because Curiosity is in progress, but what about the other rovers? We want to add as much as possible, of course, but at one point working on this game will take more time and money than it has sold copies, right? So we just need to balance this out, and hopefully a lot of people will still buy the game, because judging from the reviews, people seem to like Rover Mechanic Simulator. Navcam. It's interesting. Navcam is dirty, but not broken. So maybe I can just not fix it, but clean it. Clean those parts. Yeah, cleaning cameras is always a good idea. No matter if it's a camera on your phone or on your Mars rover, if it's dirty, it's not gonna work. Also, if the rover fell on its head, it's nothing strange that the cameras are dirty now. Okay, this is clean. Let's put them back together. Also, I just realized that Rover Mechanic is now a great game to learn new language, because if you want to learn Polish, you can just play in English, you just play in English, except, and then you want to know, this is a hinge, how is a hinge called in Polish? Let's change the language here, and you will quickly learn that the hinge is zawias, right? So it's great. Hi. So
there is a question. Are there the same assets that will be on Occupy Mars?
Mostly no. I mean, this game is different. There are some similarities, like the rover in Occupy Mars is not black, because this one is like this carbon fiber covered. In Occupy Mars, the rover is made of aluminum and is without these red parts. The garage has slightly similar look but different colors, because basically this game is like a different base on Mars built by different company. So each company has their own colors, like the rover is different, the garage is different, but there are similarities in the look. From all these things in here, the workbench will be similar but bigger and not red and black. What else? We don't have this table in Occupy Mars. We don't have this one. This is the crusher is. We don't have this kind of crusher in Occupy Mars, but there is slightly similar device which is used for food processing. 3D printer is also slightly different in Occupy Mars without this thing. So basically, it's not like, I think the only model here which is just one-to-one the same as in Occupy Mars will be this this air spray, probably. because this one is, but maybe it also has different colors because it's from a like different base. So yeah, there is like similar, because we wanted to have the we wanted to unify the visual style of those both games, because we wanted them to be in the same universe, but we didn't want to just copy them, so every model is slightly different, it has different look. Okay, and now this device is interesting because this is a reference like tool for measuring. So if a rover wants to measure distance on the picture, sometimes the mast cam on the rover is rotating and doing these pictures in the way that this is also visible in some part of the picture, and then NASA engineers can based on that measure, for example, the distance between rocks on the picture behind. There is also some colors here for color calibration visible, and if I remember correctly, this is also used as a like solar clock, because if there is a shadow from the sun falling here, then you can estimate the hour in which the picture was taken. So this small device has a lot of interesting usages. It also says 2 worlds, 1 sun, because of course Mars and Earth have the same generator of energy, fusion energy, which is the sun. Okay, so still those solar panels are always getting dirty. Nothing you can do about it, just cleaning them from time to time. That's the work of rover mechanic. Antenna, is it good or not? Yes, the antenna is not broken.
Interesting question.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Okay, so what's the definition of sandwich?
Yeah. Does the sandwich need to be flat, or do we have round sandwiches? But round sandwiches are like called wraps or twisters. So maybe hot dog is a like mug wrap, but without some additional stuff. I don't know. Hot dogs are really good. That's one thing I know about hot dogs. They are most of my breakfasts are hot dogs, because they are cheap in the local store next to our office, and I usually don't have time to make a proper breakfast, so hot dogs save life, we can say.
Okay, here is a help.
Sandwich, noun, an item of food consisting of 2 pieces of bread with a filling between them.
Okay, but
Okay.
in hot dog it's one piece.
So hot dog is a one piece that's wrapped around. So do you have a definition of a wrap? Is it from Wikipedia or something? Also, hot dog is hot, so maybe it's a toast more than a sandwich, because toast is a hot sandwich, right? Am I right or am I wrong?
Okay, so due to your definition, it should consist of 2 pieces of bread, yeah? Hot dog consists of 1 only. If we will cut this bread, that it may cost be. Probably.
Okay. Is it the last? I think it's the last solar panel to clean. The last one is always the tricky one.
Was it dirty near the holes?
Sorry?
Was it dirty near the holes from opposite side?
The holes are always
here,
okay. Clean. And we have these motors also broken. I almost forgot about them. Actually, I probably never disassembled those motors because I always played different missions. Oh, so here the brushes are fine, but the rotor is not. So I need to take everything out. Okay, do I have another one? I can also disassemble this one because it's also probably the same. So, lesson learned, if you throw a rover on its head, you will have to replace rotors inside the motors. A hot dog might be a French toast but with different ingredients. Sandwich with French fries, meat and tons of sauce. Oh yes, give me that, please.
2 please.
I think, yeah. That's the thing about Belgium, is that it has awesome food. After we finish Occupy Mars, I want to go to Belgium for some Belgian fries. That's my life goal. And beer, right. Good idea. Okay, motor. It's not a motor, that's it's in Polish, so I don't know how is it called. Maybe just rotor. Rotor, but which one? This one. Re20.
Stop it.
Is pizza a pancake? That sounds like some kind of secret. Pizza is pizza. Pizza is a different kind of device. Pizza is a hunger destroying device. Also, to some people, pizza is the meaning of life, which I am one of those people. I'm just wondering if due to this virus and due to the fact that most people bought out everything, like shops are mostly empty, will the pizza delivery guys still work? Can we still order pizza? Or the coronavirus took the pizza away from us? That's the question. I need to know. Because if the virus took our pizza, then we will not give up fight.
By the way, an interesting fact about the virus is that some countries are finally made the decision of closing the borders.
Right? You just read? Because I haven't read the news today.
I'm a citizen of one of those countries.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because Poland was thinking about it, about closing the borders, but I think they didn't yet. I know USA closed, right? For USA closed for Europe citizens except UK.
Yeah, and Russia, I think, in the first days.
Uh-huh. Okay. So basically, everybody should just stay home and play Rover Mechanic Simulator. If instead of going anywhere else, I think that's a good idea. Completely closing borders, or only for some countries. Do you know?
Not exactly.
I have the second part printed now.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's 15 minutes till 8 p.m. here. So maybe we'll finish around 8 because we are playing for about 4 hours. And we should have some rest to fight those viruses. Because, you know, there are important things in life. This is clean, this is fixed. Now we can put it back. Put everything back. And this rover will be now just perfectly fine. Yes, we hope to. I think it's just. The thing is that it's a new mutation, so it spread very quickly, but the most important thing is to stay at home because this way everybody will not get sick at the same time, but instead it will be spread over like a month or 2 months. So first, hospitals will not be as crowded because it will spread over time, and second, there will be more time to find some medication for it, some maybe vaccinations. I guess probably like in a few months everybody on this planet will have to vaccinate or something once they figure it out, and then the virus will still be living. Everybody will be infected but nobody will be sick, like like with the flu and with some other viruses. It's interesting because viruses are not even like, they are not 100% alive. They are just a code. They are not a DNA, but they are RNA code, which is attaching to our RNA and modifying it because it's just evolved this way. But it's more like a string of, how is it called? Just a string of molecules, like ordered in such a way that it just sticks to our RNA molecules and just messes them up, right? So it's just the way our universe is made. But viruses are not like alive in the sense, like bacteria are alive, but they are much bigger. Spicy molecules. That's a good description, definition, right? Okay, just those holders, and maybe we are close to finishing this rover.
Yeah.
Okay, anything left? The rover is complete. Okay, great. I think we did a great job because we not only cleaned all the panels and fixed the engines, the motors inside the mast, but we've also cleaned those tiny cameras here. which were not part of the task, at least not the primary, but they were a bonus task. So I have a sense of accomplishment.
Now looks kind of simple.
Yeah, this one is simple. So I was not a developer of Rover Mechanic, but one thing I touched in this game is I had some part in making those mini games here. I made a few levels, so probably those easier ones. So I can say I'm also partly developer, but in 3D.
Much, I think.
Yeah, it was 5, yes. Okay. So we can give this task away. And we've ranked up, so maybe we can select some interesting upgrade. So this is like faster soldering. This is faster demontage. Better 3D printer. Faster prints by 25%, but I think we need. Oh, we can upgrade it. Okay, because we have to. We cannot upgrade this one. This is tier 4 because this would be faster removing and attaching parts, and also by 90%. So basically every screw will just fly around. Yeah. But we need 10 points. We need 10 points here unlocked to reach this one. This is a rebate or like discount for electronic components, which will be cheaper. Sometimes if you play this game wrong and for example you go to the 3D printer and print everything out, you may run out of resources and just it will be game over. So don't do it. It's a bad. You need always to think about the environment. You know, don't buy the things you don't need. Don't 3D print the things you don't need, because then you run out of the filament for the printer. Okay, the price of the rovers are lower by 10%. Rover parts. And the time for analysis is shorter, by 30%. This one is interesting. It's a lucky day upgrade, which is causing random parts to be analyzed on start. So it's useful if you have later in the game, if you have difficult tasks which you don't know where to start, where to look for the issue. This is the one. Perfectionist. Cleaning the parts is 2 times faster. This is like eagle eye. The parts which are less than 15% broken are analyzed. Oh, this is great skill. So if you are like such an advanced mechanic, you just look at the part, you see that it's so broken that I don't need to analyze it even. I just know it's wrong. So very nice to have this one. I know there are some like trainer applications already made by some people for this game. So we appreciate somebody like our game so much that he used his time to like try to hack it. So I saw that there is a program which makes you, which like lets you make every skill available on start. If somebody's into it, just Google probably. It's not a multiplayer, so it's not like we will be banning for this. We just want you to have fun playing. Okay, so I think maybe faster 3D printing is the one we need.
What the philosopher do we have in the chat?
Paper is just long and wide wood. Yes. Also, as far as I understand, what program? I think if you Google Rover Mechanic Trainer, that's the program. So paper is long wood. Yes, and if you use, for example, toilet paper to clean your like smartphone camera or glasses, don't do this, because paper has those tiny little. You can break You can break your camera by using toilet paper because it really is made of wood, right? So there are tiny parts of wood which will scratch it. So you need special like tissues for that. Tissues don't have those wood parts, so to say. Okay, so can we do one more task? What do you think?
Easy one here, of course.
Navigation camera, panoramic camera are broken, but the pictures are rotated, so probably electronics. And here, the sojourner during landing, there was an incident. It's collecting the signal but interpreting them wrong. I think the most interesting one is with the meteor shower which caused the navigation cameras to...
And I think we can try premium.
Oh, right, okay, because we have 30 minutes, so that would be like our timer to finish the stream. We have 30 minutes, let's do this. And no more time for Space Invaders or Speedwriter. By the way, to the guys on the chat, did you already try the Speedwriter minigame? If not, then you should. Then we can, on our Discord, we can make some competition. Who has the high score? Of course, a screenshot is required. And we will think about some rewards for that. Okay, solar panels are clean again. It's not strange because there was a meteor shower. Okay, what about this camera? It's just like slightly touched. Hi, Mr. Ghost. Do the apt-get. Okay, let's analyze. Oh yeah, this motor is broken again. Is it the only? I guess there will be a problem with some of the cameras as well. But let's analyze everything.
But it was the last light task, yeah?
Yeah, so it was light task, so maybe the motor and maybe the camera on the tool, because but I think it also said something about not hazard cameras but navigation cameras, right? So probably both. Hey guys, is it possible for me to get the demo of Fossil Hunter? I'm crazy about dinosaur games. Yeah, so I have good news and bad news. Good news is that Fossil Hunter development is going really well, because we want to show you a new gameplay video next week probably, which will be a cool longer gameplay video, and currently the team is working on like internal demo for Digital Dragons conference. So this demo probably won't be available yet, but it means that the game is close to showing you guys. So I'm glad you asked about the dinosaurs, because we also can't wait for this game basically. It's been in development for about a year already or more, and really there are some amazing locations there. Like, for example, there is a location because currently in the Dinosaur Fossil Hunter game we have three regions. One is, I mean, all three are in the United States. I think we have 3 states, because we intend to add more places later. So recently I saw that the developers added the canyons, like something like Arizona from the US. So the canyons look amazing, and there is also some military base there, which you have to go around the fence, find a way to dig those fossils out. Okay, so yeah, I hope we'll be able to show you guys dinosaurs new gameplay video, maybe next week, maybe in 2 weeks time, so just get excited because I am excited. I didn't see yet the new build. I saw like the development like a few months ago, because then I was busy with Occupy Mars and other things, but yeah, I can't wait to see the new build and the video next week. So tell your friends. We still really hope that the wishlist will be bigger for the Dinosaur Fossil Hunter. So if you have some friends who like dinosaurs and digging fossils and looking for stuff like we, then just let them know to add the game to their wishlist, because this is important for us to know how many people are waiting for the game. Should we how much time should we focus, how much features should we add to the game? It's a lot of these decisions are made based on wishlist numbers, so yeah, remember to tell your friends. We are also thinking about maybe doing some beta demo versions for the fans of Dinosaur Fossil Hunter. But of course we have to talk this through with our publisher. But I think there is a chance for a demo. So let's just wait and be ready.
Another one. What's the name of Dino game? Sorry, playing in Unity and keep missing stuff.
So the name is Dinosaur Fossil Hunter. If you go to Steam, to our where we are streaming, to our Rover Mechanic Steam page, you can click on the Pyramid Games developer name, and you will find Dinosaur Fossil Hunter and other our games. For example, we are also working on a game about Soviet space program, Soviet space engineers. So it's something like completely different than Mars rovers, but it's also space, and we wanted to show the old space program, how it all started, because you know the first like rockets like the Vostok, the Sputnik satellite. Those was very like they were the inspiring times where Russian pioneers were doing something nobody has done before. They were the first to build such rockets, and we wanted to also show it in a different game, to show something but like a game where you can create your first like lunohods and those R7 rockets, but also maybe make them slightly different. Like what if you mix Rover Mechanic with Kerbal Space Program and with some Soviet game? We are not sure if we can achieve this, but that would be a cool game. Building Soviet rockets, sending them to the moon, for example. Soviets always wanted to, they always wanted to be the first on the moon. They were the first in terms of robotic exploration, but they couldn't manage to build a human rocket fast enough, because the N1 rocket was blowing up too often. It was too complicated, I think, too many engines, things like that. But what if that was the goal for the game? I think it would be also interesting to build such rocket, make it work, to make them land on the moon.
by the way, an interesting fact about the Sputnik satellite. In Russian, Sputnik is the exactly translation of satellite. So it's like calling satellite satellite.
Nice. So you have like thousands of Sputniks already.
Yeah.
In orbits.
Okay. I know you're playing Rovercraft, but one more question: will Fossil Hunter be co-op, or so you and friends can dig up for fossils together?
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the question. So, when it comes to co-op, it is a tricky problem because making a co-op game requires totally different approach to programming, and truth be told, for now we focus on making the game working as great as it can in single player, and we also do some research for the multiplayer in co-op. So we get some achievement from the restream, from the messages. Yeah, so I think I can say that we really want to have some co-op in our games. We agree that it would be great, but this requires really a big budget. So there is a work being done currently in our company to create like a framework for co-op games, which could be used in the future, but this is like an unofficial info I'm giving you because we are not sure if this is going to succeed. It's just I think we are trying to do, and yeah, at least we are trying, right? We're trying to make a difference in terms of simulation cooperation games, and we'll see probably in not at the beginning, but in a few months. We'll see how far we go with that. Yes, that's one of the things. So if we sell more games, then we have more resources to build a co-op game multiplayer. We are also working on applying for something like a grant from government, which will help us with the development of multiplayer games. It's not easy to get this, and it's no guarantee that we will get this, but we have to show that we know how to build it, that we have the plan, that we have some released games, and yeah, I think it's going in the right direction, so fingers crossed. Sometime after releasing the single player versions, maybe we'll be able to release also some co-op versions of our games. It will be amazing, I think. We want to do it, we just have to wait to solve some of those problems, technical problems and financial, because this is a great endeavor to make a multiplayer game, but we're working on it. That's all I can say. And we want to deliver what you guys want. So many of you said on the forums that you would love to play it in co-op. For now we don't have this possibility, but we are working on getting this possibility. So yeah, doing what we can. Yes, thank you. So we hope to show this gameplay in about 2 weeks. And there is a lot of interesting functionalities in the Dinosaur Fossil Hunter already. We showed some small version of the game last year during Falcon Festival in our city. It's like a fantasy convention. So we gathered some feedback from people who are there, and generally the feedback was really good. That this game is really broad. Shows you not only exploring Oh, this engine is still broken. Shows you not only exploring but also like building your own museum and learning about how dinosaurs were made, which bones fit where, things like that. Okay, this motor is completely destroyed because both the rotor and only one of the brushes is okay. Okay, I just will check again if this motor was okay or did I miss something, because I don't remember. No, this one is yellow, so it should be okay. And now this rotor and which brush I need to check. Let me check the brushes. It's RA20. This one. Okay, so it's printing. Meanwhile, maybe we will have a short time for this Pong, which is so hard. Why is it so hard? Let's try to win.
Hello, Sylvester.
There is a question about.
Yeah, will the game be
The game,
available?
I think the game is available in South Africa. You can buy it through Steam or Humble Bundles, Humble Store. But do you mean like African language? I think it's called General Kenobi. Do you remember how the language in South Africa is called?
Actually, no.
Whoa, I destroyed the Pong. Nice. Game over. Do you know the band called the South African band? I don't remember the name. Thank you, I bug so many things, I should be a tester. At least I didn't bug the speedwriter, which is supposed to have some bugs, but I couldn't find them, but I found some others. Fortunately, they are not breaking anything, they are just rare and annoying things, which can sometimes happen. But I feel an achievement that I still didn't, I mean, the computer still didn't beat me, I still have one more life. Not anymore. Okay, so this game is really hard. Okay, and we have a timed order, so we should be faster. This is cleaned, and now just only the motor is left. This one, and the last one. Okay. Okay, so this is here. I only need to fix the solar panels. Put them back again. if we have some time left in this order before we finish, then I would like to check the names of some parts in German and in French. I'm just curious how those parts are called in French. Is the Fossil Hunter gameplay going to be a stream or video? I think we will make a video first, but maybe stream is not a bad idea. Maybe we could put like a few minutes of gameplay into a stream to also show it to people. Definitely a video, because guys are working on it right now. Of course, most of our teams have moved with their computers to home because of this virus. We want to be safe, so everybody switched to remote work. But still, we want to make it on time, and maybe we will be able to show the game on Digital Dragons Festival on May, in May I think, this year. So if any of you will be in Poland, in Krakow, like in a few months, then it's the faster way to play Dinosaur Fossil Hunter. We were in Krakow last year in the same festival with Occupy Mars, like alpha version, and it was great because this like Digital Dragons is mostly a conference for game developers, and we gathered some great feedback from people who know how to make really great games. For example, there was a guy quite famous in Poland who worked on Witcher 1, then he worked on Call of Juarez games, and I think Dying Light also, and then he moved to China, I think, to work in Ubisoft. So this guy just got hooked on Occupy Mars. He played like for 3 hours, and I just stood there with my notepad and pen and just took notes. I wrote a few pages of his remarks because he has such a great experience, and he just knew exactly what we should do where. So I hope with Dinosaur Fossil Hunter we'll do the same. So we'll show the game to the big people in game development and listen to them. What do they think about the game? What should we improve before the release? I think that's the best way to make a good game. Okay, do we have everything? Yes, the rover is complete. We still have 7 minutes left, so I wanted to check what are the names in German. So solar is solar, of course, but for example this thing here, it is Raffenswert. Okay. Das Pankam Kalibergsgrad. I'm not good at. I had some German lessons like 10 years ago, but it was not enough and not long enough. So I probably can read a few words, but not out loud in this language. What about French? Can I check the same part in French? This is, wow. This is, I don't even know how to say it. This word. Panel solar. Okay. At least a rat is a rat.
There's another question.
How will I know when the demo goes live? The best way is to add our games to your wishlist and also click follow in the Steam page. So if you click follow, you will get notifications on Steam and sometimes through email with with the updates, with every update. So when we put the demo live, the first thing we do, we put update on Steam, and you will get a notification. Yes, right. That's the French name. Okay, we are 6 minutes behind. I mean, in front of the time, and it's done. And we have progressed again. We are now officially Old Sergeant of Brigade. I'm wondering how this name is how is it translated? Let's check English. Senior Master Sergeant. Okay. What about Russian, maybe?
Can you?
Senior Master Sergeant, probably.
Старший мастер сержант.
Старший. Okay. This one,
I don't think it's possible.
there is only one person in our company who can read this, but she's not here today, so we can just guess. But I guess Chinese people have very short words. Great, Mr. Ghost. So yeah, I advise to follow all of our games, because if you follow, you get notifications every time, and you will be first to play. Okay, so I guess that will be it for now. We are playing for over 4 hours. We advise you to just keep playing, keep following our games and updates, and try the new mini game. And I guess see you later in the next update. Thanks.
See you.
Thank you.